We're at Clem Richardson Stadium for an old-school wrestling loser leaves town match between Fairhope and Baker. Whoever wins tonight will host a first-round playoff game, while the loser packs their bags and hits the road for round one. But we could be in store for some history. If Baker can get the win, the Hornets will capture their third-ever region crown. I hope you have your popcorn ready, because the playoff chase begins tonight for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Good evening. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty. We're so glad you're with us. Corey, we have a playoff-type atmosphere in the house tonight.
Since 1989 has been the last time that Baker High School has been able to be called region champion. And when you think about the turnaround that has gone within this program, it's going to be interesting to see how this 7A Region 1 playoff matchup is going to unwind itself tonight, Al. And I look forward to the history being made either by Fairhope or by Baker tonight, but it's all between the lines tonight.
Well, it all pretty much started last week. We knew Baker had to win, and Baker needed Fairhope to win to beat Daphne, because Daphne beat Baker. Well, it all played out. Baker's got the Battle of Westmobile trophy. Fairhope won the Jubilee Cup over there. So guess what? Tonight, if Baker wins, they are the region champ, as you talked about it. But if Baker loses and the MGM loses to Davidson, guess who is the region champ? That's Fairhope. So we got a lot at stake in this ball game, Corey.
Without question, the Hornet hooligans have made a difference, whether the Hornets are 0-10 or 10-0.
Yeah.
And coming off the success that they've had 1 year ago with Juan Johnson and now with Eric Scott at the helm, you just love to see programs turning around the way Baker's been able to. And Fairhope, Tim Carter has always done a tremendous job in his 11 years at the head coach of Fairhope.
All right, let's get into your checklist. What do these teams need to do tonight to get the win, Corey?
Fairhope, they must be balanced, and they have an outstanding quarterback that's going to be calling the signals for them in Trey Gardner. So they're going to be able to run the football. They're going to be able to throw the football. That is the key to success for them. They're going to need to try to create some turnovers defensively, because they're only giving up 13.9 points per game, and Baker comes in averaging 34.9 points. So the turnover battle is going to be huge. And the Pirates have to find a way to slow down this speed of the Baker Hornets. We saw it 1 week ago. It is explosive when you give it to Speedy Wheeler or you give it to Katori Marion. And for the Baker Hornets, they have to swarm and sting. When you talk about this tenacious defense led by their head coach, Eric Scott, they have to have a defense that only gives up 19.1 points per game. It has to be lower than that tonight. Eliminate the mental mistakes. There can't be a lot of penalties off of great plays, and they have to head to Hornet Hooligans history. And what do I mean by that? I mentioned it in the intro. They're able to win this game tonight, the first time since 1989 that they will become region champions.
And it will be their third region title in the history of the program. All right, it's feeling good. I'm going to say it. Fall is here, so it's time to check in with our third member of the crew, Kimberly Dunn, for our BSN weather forecast. Kim, it feels great here at Hornet Stadium.
That's right. It's feeling amazing here in the Hornets' nest. The players have excellent playing conditions for tonight's 7A region matchup. We will start kickoff at 71 degrees, and it's just going to cool down from there, going all the way to 64 by the end of the game. Humidity is only at 54% and slightly goes up as the game continues. Only a 1% chance of rain, but I don't see any clouds, so I think we're safe tonight, and a very slight wind, so we could not ask for better conditions for tonight's competition.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. We'll be checking in with her later on. All right, Corey, we need to find out who's going to have an impact on this ball game tonight. Both of these teams, they know what is at stake, but it all comes down to what's happening between the hash marks.
No question about it. Trey Gardner, he's the junior quarterback signal caller for the Fairhope Pirates, has thrown for over 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns for Tim Carter and his offense. And also, he has a teammate, a linebacker, Dagan Jones. He's a senior linebacker, 5.5 sacks, 47 solo tackles. He will be called a lot tonight to help this Pirate defense get them to a victory. And for the Baker Hornets, their impact players start with Katori, the future Marion. If you guys remember 1 week ago, this South Alabama verbal commit scored 3 touchdowns in the first half, wound up with 4 touchdowns last week. And then a free safety / linebacker, number 0, Miles Johnson. He's a junior. He had a pick 6 1 week ago, and he is now playing the will linebacker position, and he has great hands, so he's also an active tackler as well.
He sure is, man. He took it to the house with that pick six last week, and that pretty much sealed the deal. All right, we're going to come back, bring you the kickoff. It is pretty much loser leaves town. The winner looking like it possibly could be a region champ tonight. Stick around. Kickoff headed your way for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Your experience is valuable, and now it pays. Have you taught at a private school, another district, or even retired from teaching? Mobile County Public Schools is now offering higher pay for your previous experience. That means you can step into the classroom at a higher pay level because your experience matters. Don't let your hard work go unrecognized. Apply today and start earning what you've worked for. Visit mcpss.com/job opportunities for more information.
Hi, I'm Renee Phillips, Director of Communication for Mobile County Public Schools and your host of Homeroom. I invite you to join us as we learn about the great things happening in our schools across the county. On Homeroom, you get to meet students and educators who are in our schools every day doing wonderful things. Join us as we take an in-depth look at their stories, issues, people, and policies of the Mobile County Public Schools. That's Homeroom. You can find it weekly right here on the MCPSS TV network.
Mobile County Public Schools, the place that has it all. We have 90 schools that include rural, urban, and suburban schools of various sizes. We are also home to Alabama's first public school. We welcome you to come join our winning team. Our district is led by the 2020 Superintendent of the Year, Mr. Cresel D. Threadgill. Our teachers are leaders in their profession who are afforded numerous professional development opportunities. Our principals are collaborators and encouragers. Our schools are leading in innovation and instruction. And most importantly, our students who are learning today, leading tomorrow, are simply the best. If you want to live in a historically rich city near beautiful beaches with superb Southern hospitality, we invite you to come teach with the best. Team MCPSS.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
You are watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. We appreciate you joining us tonight in this 7A Region 1 contest. Getting ready to take it down to the field for the coin toss. Rick Johnson is our white hat tonight. We had him a couple weeks ago over at Williamson during the UMS Wright game, Cor.
Yeah, does a fantastic job, and his wife is keeping the clock for us tonight as well.
She's below
so
us
it's
in the press box.
husband-wife combination there, but get ready, your popcorn ready, like you said, Al, for a great game tonight for certain.
Great crew that Johnson has, so let's tune in and check it out.
You take care of them so we don't have to. All right? All right, we'll call you white all night. You're the visiting team. We'll call you blue. Blue for tonight because the color of your jerseys, you're the home team. I have a point. Have a NFHS and Alabama. Which one do you want to call? Alabama. Alabama going to call. And it is Alabama. You are going to call. Fairhope won the toss and elected to defer. And you want the ball, correct? You won't get kicked.
All right, Corey, so for the second week in a row, we'll get to see the Baker Hornets get the ball first as we start off our kickoff. Fairhope wins, and they decide to decline. Right now, before we get ready for kickoff, let's put up the 7A region standings so you can get a clear understanding as to what's going on in this region. All right, so we know that Baker has beat MGM, Corey, and MGM beat Fairhope, and MGM beat Daphne, and Daphne beat Baker. But they're all in the playoffs. But the problem is we have a three-way tie right now for first place. So it comes down to this. If Baker wins this game tonight, they'll be 6-1. They've already beat MGM. They have the head-to-head. They're the region champ, as you said. But guess what happens if Fairhope wins and say MGM wins? Well, MGM's the number 1 seed. Fairhope's 2. Guess who's 3? Daphne. And Baker falls to 4, Corey. That's how much is at stake in this ball game tonight.
I never was great at math, but I'm glad you explained that, not only to myself, but our viewing audience, as the fireworks and explosions are going off here at Clem Richardson Stadium. We're going to have some fireworks tonight, folks.
We definitely are.
You want to make sure that you lock in, share with a friend, phone a friend. Make sure that you get as many eyeballs as possible on this 7A Region 1 matchup. 7A, the largest classification in the state of Alabama, and it's not too often going in to almost the last week of football that you do have a game that will decide a region championship title. And again, if you have to travel, it costs thousands of dollars to hit the road versus staying right here on your own campus, sleeping in your own bed, and not having to get on that charter bus.
Many, many thousands of dollars, as a matter of fact. Headed onto the field for the Pirates, their kicker, Grant Thompson. He averages 59 yards on kickoffs, has 22 touchbacks. And Baker, they'll be putting back Katori Marion and Josh Jones, both of them averaging nearly 30 yards of kick return for the Hornets.
And as we get started, Al, here in October, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Night.
That's right.
You see you and I rocking our pink polos. Kimberly Dunn on the sidelines rocking her pink. Cheerleaders with their pom-poms. Players with their spats. We're ready. Toe to leather, Al. It doesn't get any better than Friday Night Lights.
Does not. Waiting for the kickoff right here from Thompson. Still see the fog and the smoke from the fireworks that they put off here inside the Hornets' nest at Clem Richardson Stadium. Great crowd tonight. I was told that during the middle of the week, they had a reduced ticket sale price, wanted to pack this place out with students, and I'm going to call those the honorary hooligans, Corey, because I found out a couple years ago you have to actually, the hooligans is a club, like a school club.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know. I just thought you could show up. No,
Right.
You just can't show up and be a hooligan, bro.
Okay, all
right. You got
right.
to earn your hooligan stripes.
I love it. I love it. And one thing they are passionate about are all Baker athletics, especially this football program that has turned the corner.
And the kick is off. Marion fumbles it, picks it up. Gets past the 20 up to the 23. Take a look at this Baker offense led by Tate Graham. He's thrown for over 1,800 yards, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Behind him, Jalen Speedy Wheeler has over 800 yards on the ground, 12 scores. Baker's leading receiver, Katori Marion, we just saw him. He's a beast, over 600 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. Up front, the Hornets return an inexperienced line with only one returning starter in right guard, Easton McCurchie. The Hornets' offensive line averages 255 pounds. Baker is +2 in turnover margin, and that pick six helped them last week. They were -2 when they started that ball game. 1st and 10 for the Hornets from their own 23-yard line.
4-3 defense being shown by the Pirates.
Baker going to the air. Pass is complete. Getting out to Josh Jones, averages 12.3 yards per reception, and that is going to be close to a first down, about 1 yard short.
Joshua Jones, the 5'11", 175-pound senior, makes his 28th reception of the season, good for 9 yards.
2nd and 1 coming up here for the Hornets. With the slant, Katori Marion, and he is off to the races. One got to beat. Marion taking it to the house early for the Hornets. They're on the board at the 11:25 mark. 2 plays and Baker score.
You can see the explosiveness of who we call the future, folks. We mentioned his name from the word go as an impact player. Katori Marion picks up where he left off 1 week ago. The 5'11", 175-pound senior scores his 11th touchdown of the season. That's his 40th reception. He now has over 700 yards receiving. And watch the speed and the burst of number 5, folks. You won't find a faster athlete in the entire city.
Lawrence on for the PAT, and just like that, it's 7-0 after 2 plays. We'll take a quick break so we can compose ourselves. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
We are back. We told you it's a playoff-like atmosphere here inside of the Hornets' Nest. And boy, the crowd came to life and the hooligans showed what they're made about, Corey, after that touchdown reception from Katori Marion. Kicking off for Baker. Thompson with the kick. Taken by Fairhope just inside of the 10. Brian Martin with the carry. Get up this Fairhope offense. Quarterback Trey Garner has thrown for over 1,600 yards, 18 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Leading rusher Nick Ronson Valley averages 4 yards a rush with 3 scores. When Fairhope passes, look for senior wide receivers Andrus Hunt or Brian Martin to make the grab. Hunt averages 23 yards a catch with 7 scores. Up front, the Pirates' offensive line averages 260 pounds with left tackle Parks Glaze providing protection. His big frame, 6'6", 280. The Pirates are plus 14 in turnover margin, and they hand it off to Ronson Valley, and he is going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Here's that scoring drive right there, Corey.
Very explosive, as it was a quick 2-play drive that went 76 yards, 31 seconds. And again, this defense of Baker only giving up 19.1 points per game. This offense of Fairhope averaging 32.1.
2nd and 10 here for the Pirates. Ronson Valley moves out to the slot. Garner steps up into the pocket, takes off. He's going to get the first down and a little bit more past the midfield stripe up to the 45. He's leveled at the 44-yard line of Baker.
Great balance there by Fairhope. The quarterback, our impact player, Trey Garner, he's a rusher too, folks. He has over 175 yards rushing. That's his 38th rushing attempt, but he did a good job of reading the defense, picking up a first down. Tempo now by the Pirates.
Trip receivers to the top. They hand it off to Ronson Valley. He falls for it for about a couple here, picks up 2 or 3. 2nd down coming up for the Pirates.
Jacorian Smith, 5'10", 185-pound sophomore Mike linebacker with the stop. But again, this Baker defense in a 3-4 look. Defensive coordinator and head coach Eric Scott calling the signals for the Hornets.
2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground once again. Ronson Valley pops it outside, and he has popped at the 41-yard line. Picks up another 2 or 3 for the Pirates. Is bringing up 3rd down.
Carmelo Taylor, the free safety, 6'1", 170-pound senior, does a tremendous job of going low, and that's an injury on Nick Ronson Valley. And you can see him tackle low. If you try to go high on these running backs of Fairhope or the quarterback, you're not going to have a lot of success, but that injury could be critical. You hope it's just the wind knocked out of him. It's not an arm injury, because if it's one of his other extremities like his finger or hand, that
Corey,
could be
I'm
trouble.
thinking maybe something needed to pop back into place. I'm glad we got off that with the camera. You could see Coach Eric Scott on the field as well trying to lend some assistance. So I think they'll take him to the sidelines and do a little finger magic, and hopefully we might see Ronson Valley once again.
Now he is 107 rushing attempts, 425 yards and 3 touchdowns by the 5'10", 208-pound junior. And this young man is a warrior. So if he's able to come back, he will come back for Tim Carter and offensive coordinator Vaughn Messina.
Looks like maybe Zach Morris may come into the ball game to replace him, and he does. Morris checks in, averaging about 4.6 yards a rush, has 2 scores on the season. 3rd and 5 here for the Pirates. Compressed formation, and Morris goes out wide, and we have our first penalty flag of the ball game. So a false start called against Fairhope.
And one of the things we need to look at, though, is this huge offensive line of Fairhope. The left tackle, 6'6", 280-pound Parks Glaze. You don't see many 6'6" or 6'3" offensive linemen. One of the biggest offensive lines that we've seen all season long. You talked about the disparity in Baker's offensive line being a 7A school versus Fairhope. It's evident, though, not too many 6'6" tackles on the football field on Friday nights.
Ball back to the original line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line. Martin goes into motion. Garner's got time, trying to get hooked up. The tip drill pays off for Baker. That is an interception by the Hornets defense.
Jacorian Smith, the Mike linebacker, 5'10", 185-pound sophomore, he's able to go ahead and show his great hands, a great tip drill, as he was able to get both hands underneath it, and it's going to be a huge turnover by the Fairhope Pirates. And we saw the explosion. Look at the tip drill here by Baker. And you are able to, Keandre Petaway, 5'9", 160-pound senior, was the first to tap it up in the air, allowing his teammate to go up under it. And that's a huge interception and turnover. And we'll see the Baker Hornets get their second offensive possession.
And, Corey, they're going to get an extra, I believe, a couple of yards tapped on top of that. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Fairhope. So it's 1st and 10 here at the 20 for the Hornets. Sorry, at the 15.
Well, it'll be huge for Baker. You've got to double team number 5, Katori Marion. You got to have help over the top because there's just too much speed, and Zero in the backfield can get loose as well.
Hand off to Speedy Wheeler. He gets some blocking from that compressed formation with the receivers doing some blocking for him. Nice gain, about 7 to 8 yards there for Wheeler.
Gets to the second level, Dylan Gilbert, the corner, 6'2", 175-pound junior. This speed and tempo, NASCAR style, is going to be fun to watch.
2nd and 2. Flashing right across the middle once again. Katori Marion knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Big pickup right there for the Hornets.
And again, you go to your moneymaker on a drag route. Marion able to have that reception, and we'll have a flag. The officials are going to talk about it on the far side of the field, right around the 27-yard line of the Fairhope sidelines. And you can see the speed again. This is the patience of Tate trusting Katori on that drag route, but it may be coming back.
I think so. It's close to the line of scrimmage, possibly a hold. Rick Johnson will deliver the call to us here in a matter of moments. Offensive pass interference. Wow.
You don't see that too often,
No.
OPI in regards to after a catch. And where it was thrown, it had to be at the catch point. And I don't know if we're able to go back and re-rack that and take a look whether it was Marion who was guilty of it, but it was a tremendous catch. Let's see when he caught it. No, I didn't see any PI there, but again, that's what was called.
Pushes Baker back to the 11-yard line. Line to gain is the 25. Wiped out a 21-yard reception from Graham to Marion, so 2nd and long here for the Hornets.
Watch Wheeler coming out of the backfield as well. If he gets to the second level, it's 6 on the board.
They throw it out, get the screen completed. Linking up with Christian White on the pitch and catch close to the 20. Nice pickup right there for the Hornets.
White, his 20th reception of the season, the 5'11", 175-pound senior with good sure hands. It's money down for the Pirates. And here, one-on-one coverage, if you're at the bottom of the screen with any of these speedsters from Baker, they can find you and beat you. But you definitely want to know where Joshua Jones and Katori Marion are. That's number 2 and 5 in blue.
Manageable third down, 3rd and 5 here for the Hornets. White goes into motion. Graham completes it to Josh Jones as he inches forward to the 35. That's going to be a first down and a change move for Baker.
And let me tell you something about Joshua Jones, folks. Last week he had a couple of drops. This week in practice, he really emphasized making sure he saw the football all the way in. As you can see, a great blocking job by the offensive line. Tate Graham puts it on the money, and Jones cashes in.
Tempo once again here for the Hornets. 1st and 10. They have life at the 35. Graham with plenty of time. On the crossing route, Katori Marion as he's tackled, and a flag out near the 40-yard line in the vicinity possibly of holding.
The crew on the far sidelines, or the coaching staff for Fairhope, did a great job making sure the officials were going to see that one and make that call, because they were going to pull out their yellow flags if the stripes did not on that situation. Every last assistant coach on the far sidelines was helping our stripes make that call on the sidelines there for Fairhope.
Another PI called against Baker. So something is going on that Fairhope is seeing here, but also for Austin Barber, offensive coordinator, he's got to talk to his guys about blocking downfield and setting the correct blocks, not getting called for PI.
Well, again, Baker is 6-2 on the season, 5-1 in this region, and you can see it down the field
so basically
there.
Almost like a pick play, basically.
It really is,
yep.
And that's what they got called for last time. But Baker was able to overcome this down and distance in the last PI call. And again, one-on-one coverage is just going to be hard to do against this explosive receiving corps.
1st and 25, tunnel screen to Josh Jones. He runs right through the tunnel, picks up about 6 up to the 26-yard line, maybe 27. So decent care right there to get some of it back. Still 2nd and long here for the Hornets.
And what you want to do is get half of that back. Right here, you just want to make sure you don't drop the football or have another penalty if you're the Baker Hornets, because you have the explosiveness. The one-on-one coverage at the bottom of your screen can be a home run ball.
Play action. Almost picked off by Fairhope. Johnny on the spot right there. Dagan Jones, one of our impact players, almost came away with the interception.
And Dagan, I mentioned it, having 47 solo tackles, tried to sell it to the officials, but there is another penalty flag on the play.
Right near the 30-yard line.
You know what's for receiver downfield. On the offense. 5 yards. Play 2nd down.
So a legal man
downfield. They did decline it.
They did decline it. That'll bring up 3rd down here for the Pirates. As you can see, the ball sitting right there on the 26-yard line here inside the Hornets' nest. 6:23 remaining in the first quarter.
3rd and 19 now.
Yep.
And what play do you have designed for 3rd and 19? Well, I'll tell you what, you give Tate Graham time at this offensive line, you will see the explosiveness. A 5-yard pass can turn into a 60-yard or 65-yard touchdown.
Play clock under 10. Graham steps up into the pocket, completes it to Christian White, and he is going to be close as he tiptoed on the sideline. Let's see where the spot is at. The line of the game was the 44, I believe.
2 yards short.
So he stepped out of bounds right before the 44. Going to put him at the 43.
I go.
And Eric Scott, they're going for it.
I would. I love this gamble, the confidence in your offense here. Worst case scenario, you can call a timeout, but I love this gamble.
Gavin Wood in the backfield with Tate Graham as they look to the sideline. Play clock at 10. Graham gets the call. Play clock at 5. Fumble snap. Graham can't recover. Dagan Jones for the sack, and it'll be ball over on downs to the Pirates, and they have awesome field position here in Baker territory.
Well, when you see the play clock going down and you're trying to change the play with 4 seconds remaining, call the timeout in that situation, and it was a bad snap as he was looking to not see the ball in all the way, first of all, Al, and because of it, great pressure by this Pirates defense, and they have already now forced their first turnover, not an interception or a fumble, a turnover on downs with prime real estate for this offense.
Cut off the momentum of the Hornets right there, so no points off turnovers for Baker. Hand off to Byron Martin as he hits the hole. Let's take a look at the Baker defense. They play a 3-4 with Mike Backer, Alex Hawthorne, who is out tonight. So once again, subbing for him is going to be Miles Johnson stepping over. Jacorian Smith is going to be stepping in tonight. The Hornets have a great defense. Tackle Ronald Reed leads them with 7.5 sacks. 14 tackles for loss. Sam Backer, T.J. Roberts going to help out up the middle as well. Baker has 8 takeaways for this defense. Right now trying to take Martin out of the play as they force him out of bounds. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down coming up here for the Pirates.
Martin, versatile wide receiver, tight end, 5'7", 155-pound senior, shows his speed on that play, but it was a high snap, which messes up with the timing of Trey Garner. Another huge 3rd down coming for Baker to rise up to the occasion as the Hornet hooligans are getting excited.
Garner completes it. Not enough for the 1st down. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has an injury update for us.
I was able to get an update on the player for Fairhope, number 6. He does have an injury to his hand that is going to keep him out for the rest of the game. He got that wrapped up by their medical team, so he does have that taken care of, but he will not be in for the rest of the game. I did notice that while he was getting cared for, it was causing a little bit of a distraction for the team, so that may be something that we see play out later that has caused a distraction.
Thank you, Kimber. We appreciate that. 4th and 3 coming up here for the Pirates. Morris in the ball game. As Kimberly just told us, Ronson Valley out for the remainder of the game, and a timeout called by Tim Carter. He wants to talk about it right here. Smart move at 3:55.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what Baker wanted to do or could have done on their 4th down opportunity.
Right.
Fairhope, they go ahead and they don't decide to gamble, but that's a huge loss for Tim Carter, knowing that Nick's going to be out for the remainder of the game. And you look at the last play, number 1, Mr. Andreas Hunt, 5'11", 160-pound senior, made his 23rd reception of the season. And that's somebody that you can look for the Pirates to want to go to, along with Zach Morris, because we mentioned how big this offensive line was for the Fairhope Pirates.
For the Fairhope Pirates, they come in, they're averaging 260 pounds, very big line for the Pirates. Matter of fact, they're bringing over 85 players tonight, 6 on offense, 4 on defense, returning starters, and a very large class, Corey, 30 seniors on this squad for the Pirates.
Well, with the large senior class, you know, they're trying to go out with a bang here on the road.
They are, and speaking of Fairhope also coming over, Pirate Nation TV to our left here tonight, broadcasted for all the Pirates fans, checking them out as well. So give them a big shout out. And to our buddy, Mr. B, Richard Brunson, our former television production teacher at LaFleur. All right, here it is, 4th and 3 for the Pirates on the slant. Pass is complete. And that's going to be a 1st down for Fairhope. Nice grab by Andreas Hunt.
We just talked about Andreas Hunt being able to sit down and make that last reception. He sat down in front of the sticks, knew how far he needed to go, and was able to go that distance. He was able to go that distance for that reception. It's a huge 1st down for the Pirates.
Ball on the 22-yard line. Trip receivers to the top of the screen. They give it to Morris. He tries to hit the hole, and he is hit just inside of the 20-yard line. So Fairhope technically inside the red zone after that carry.
Yeah, and that is a nice offensive possession here so far by the Pirates. After that turnover on downs, having a little momentum, trying to answer that quick score.
2nd and about 7 here for the Pirates. As we touch 3 minutes remaining in the 1st quarter. Morris leveled at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
A
A lot of beef up front. Starts with Ashton Stokes, also Ronald Reed. We talked about Ronald Reed, the 6', 220-pound senior defensive tackle, and Stokes, the 5'11", 315-pound nose guard, being a plugger. But that's a huge stop. Another third down for the Pirates.
Fairhope has to get to the 12 to pick up a first down. Garner with time, pressure on him. He's sacked. Garner is sacked on third down by Baker.
Jacorian Smith comes on the delayed Mike linebacker blitz. Watch number 26. Not enough offensive bodies to pick up all the attackers, and the Hornets stinging on defense, bringing up fourth down. And if they decide to go ahead and kick this one, it's close to a 50-yard attempt.
Grant Thompson on. His longest is 55 yards. This one's going to be about 43-yard attempt for Thompson. Let's see if Eric Scott tries to freeze him. Play clock at 2-1 to snap. The hold. The kick is up, and it is good. Grant Thompson nails the 43-yarder for the Pirates, and they get on the board. Our score, 7-3.
I'm Keith Blackwood, your Mobile County District Attorney. I want to remind you about the truancy laws. 5 unexcused absences requires you to attend the early warning truancy program. Failure to attend the early warning truancy program can cause you to appear before a judge in circuit court. We need you to stay in school. This is a serious law, and it needs to be taken very seriously. I wish you and your family a safe, happy, and successful school year.
It is always great to have a secret weapon in your back pocket, and that's what Tim Carter has in Grant Thompson, Corey.
9 out of 13 on the season. His long is a 55 yards. He's 35 out of 36 on extra points. That's why he's one of the best kickers in Mobile and Baldwin County for certain. Does all specialist duties, punter, kickoff, field goals, and extra points.
Does it all. Jones with the return for Baker, but we have flags all on the field. And I think this one may be coming back as Jones gets the ball up to the Fairhope 47. But there are 3 flags on the field here after that kick return.
And Al, you mentioned it. It's great to have a specialist. That third phase of the game, special teams, is so effective. And when you do have a weapon that can keep you on the board, that's great to have.
Half the distance from that block in the back, and Corey, from where the flags are at the 10 or the 11 or 12, that's going to put Baker at maybe the 5 or 6 yard line. And we've seen a lot of flags on the Hornets tonight, so I think some talking to will have to occur with these players. About just under 90 seconds remaining here in the first quarter for Eric Scott and his Baker Hornets kids.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, we talked about being able to have poise with penalties, right? And that's something that the Hornets control. They need to go ahead and eliminate mental mistakes, and they haven't been able to do that thus far. And again, with the explosive offense here, they are deep in their own territory, but this just sets up a 95-yard drive to go over the top one-on-one coverage.
First to 10 from the 5. They fake it to Wood, play action. Going over the top, Tate Graham trying to hook up with Gattori Marion, and he does. Pass is completed. And ironically, Corey, Marion is at the spot where the kick return was just tackled, but they couldn't take advantage of that line of scrimmage. Wow.
Great throw. Look at the time of protection. I talked about the one-on-one coverage. You cannot cover Gattori, the future Marion, one-on-one. You have to have help over the top, and if you don't provide that protection and that over-the-top coverage, he will make you pay. He is that explosive and that much of a game changer, verbally committed to South Alabama.
48-yard reception by Gattori Marion. Once again, this compressed formation. One guy up top, they toss it out to Gavin Wood. Boy, he hits north and south through the B gap, picks up about 8 yards on the carry. Nice run right there by Wood.
Wood, the 5'10", 200-pound junior running back. He gives Speedy Wheeler a little break, but I'll tell you, last week we heard a lot from Katori Marion in the first half, and then plenty from Speedy Wheeler in the second half. Number 0 is staying fresh for the Hornets, something to keep an eye on here as the game progresses.
Back to Wood they go. He bounces it outside, and we have flags. Appears to be a false start as the side judge runs in to signal that to Rick Johnson. So that'll cost the Hornets 5. That'll push them back to the 32-yard line.
And another costly penalty. Baker's been able to fight beyond these penalties.
That's true.
With the exception of the turnover on downs, but you can see the explosive plays and the explosive offense. Tim Carter talked about eliminating those explosive plays, but you have to play 10 yards off of number 5, because if you don't, he's going to make you pay.
Correction, ball at the 47-yard line. Run up the middle. Picks up maybe 1 or 2. It's going to take Baker to third down, and with that play, we have the end of the first quarter. Very tight ball game. Up for grabs, a possible region title for one of these two. Second quarter action headed your way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Yeah. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
3rd and 4 coming up here for the Hornets on the 41-yard line of Fairhope. Big play right here, as you call it, Corey. Money down for the Pirates once again trying to get off the field.
Yeah, it's going to be a situation that Baker wants to convert, and you look at them being able to try to convert here with 0.
And they bring in Speedy Wheeler on the misdirection, and he shows why he's called Speedy Wheeler. Very elusive as well, as he gets up to about the 30, maybe 26-yard line right there of Fairhope.
Being able to stay fresh. Coming out of the quarter, you had Gavin Woods at the back in the backfield. Now you have Wheeler. Look at his shiftiness, folks. Change of direction, and he's able to get yards after contact, picking up another Hornet first down.
About a 15-yard pickup right there by Wheeler. Brought him in just in time. Graham with plenty of time completes the pass to Christian White. He steps out of bounds just inside the red zone at the 19. Second down here for the Hornets on the way.
And you don't know whether you can jam these receivers at the line of scrimmage. You don't know whether to play 10 yards off of them, because they can just turn around and sit down and get yards after contact on a quick hitch. So again, the Hornets just present so many problems for the secondary of every opponent, not just for the Pirates.
7-yard completion right there to White. 2nd and 3 for Baker. Lining up in a pistol formation. White goes into motion. They give it to Wood. Right up the middle he goes. Tries to squeeze a little bit. Corey, I think they're going to give him 1 yard on the carry.
Yeah, great stop coming up by this Fairhope defense. And Nash Gerhardt, 6 foot, 200-pound sophomore with the stop. But Baker staying fresh. They sub out Woods and bring right back Wheeler in. And again, when you look at the compacted red zone area for Baker, you have an opportunity here on one-on-one coverage to go over the top to Christian White.
They need to get 2 yards. The line of gain is the 16. They give it to Speedy Wheeler, running behind his blocker. Bounces it outside. And Wheeler's going to have enough for the first down. He's inside of the 15 up to the 13.
Look at the great ball security of number 0, Speedy Wheeler, as the can opener drill by the Pirates. Watch how hard and tight he carries this football. He's not letting anybody take it away from him. As they're ripping and trying to strip it, he holds on and flexes his muscles.
Hornets can still pick up a first down without scoring. Pass completed to Josh Jones on that screen right there. I think they'll credit him with maybe 1 or 2. I believe 2 yards right there, so they'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Hornets. Ball placed at the 11-yard line here on the short side of the field near the Baker sideline. Graham looking to the sideline to get the call. Wood still in the game. Wheeler still out, Corey. So they're kind of platooning him tonight.
I love it, and you can look for a slant right here. The future Marion, number 5, last week was able to score in this same area.
Gavin Wood trying to hit the corner if he can, but forced out of bounds. Nice tackle right there by the Pirates, but it's enough, I believe, to get a first down. If he gets the 3, it's a first down. And he's at the 2, so it'll be 1st and goal coming up here for the Pirates after that run by Gavin Wood.
At the end, he does fumble, and that's a great job. You just got to have ball security. He tried to stretch out and almost fumble, but Baker audibling at the line of scrimmage. Their quarterback, Tate Graham, he sees something in the defense he likes. Let's see if the offensive line can get the push.
From 2 yards out, they go back to Gavin Wood, and he busts up the middle. Touchdown for the Hornets.
Great job. Isaac Rogers, Easton McCurchie, Isaac Clark, Dominic Robinson, and Jalen Rogers creating a push up front now. And you give it to the big back, who in short yardage situation, he's able to capitalize and get in. And that was a 10-play drive for 95 yards. 10 plays, 95 yards.
Lawrence on for the extra point, and it is good. Baker extends their lead. 14-3 is our score.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
Our game tonight brought to you in part by Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's is ready for all your game day and catering needs with subs by the box or the bag. They can do it all. Tell them Al and Corey sent you and get the football discount on your order. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Also got to thank BSN Sports with team apparel and equipment from baseball to wrestling and all the sports in between. BSN Sports, it's the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. Lawrence lays his foot into that one. Taken by Fisher Southall. Up the middle he goes. Past the 30 up to the 34. Nice return by Southall.
And that was huge when you look at now the scoring drive, 2-yard touchdown run by big back Gavin Wood. 10 plays, 95 yards, 3 minutes. And I will say that Tate Graham, he is accurate tonight, folks. 9 out of 10, 175 yards, 1 touchdown. Marion, 3 receptions, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. That is almost identical to what we saw 1 week ago against MGM. It is just remarkable, the offensive outburst that these Hornets can have.
The flag on the play against Fairhope looked like a crackback block, and that's going to push them back 15 yards or possibly half the distance. Let's see where Rick Johnson stops at. And it's going to be placed at the 14-yard line. Nice return by Southall, but Fairhope cannot take advantage of it with that penalty.
This Pirates defense, giving up 13.9 points per game, has already given up 14. Have to come away with a nice drive right here to go ahead and take back momentum.
Graham, pressure on him, and he's going to be tackled, sacked behind the line of scrimmage by this Baker Hornets defense.
Great job of coming up and making a play from his defensive end position. Caden Moore makes his 21st solo tackle of the season. The 6'1", 220-pound junior is able to get another tackle for loss as well. That's his 8th of the season, putting Fairhope 1 yard behind the sticks.
2nd and 11 here for the Pirates. They hand it off to Mars. He bounces it outside, and it's not the turf monster. I believe that's number 26 for Baker that tripped him up, Corey.
It is another big play by
Smith.
Smith. He's having himself a whale of a first half.
He sure is.
The Mike linebacker steps into the starting will linebacker position tonight for Champion Campbell and brings up another 3rd and long for the Pirates.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. Trip receivers here to the near side. Garner looking left. They set up the screen, and the screen is eaten up by Baker. That goes nowhere. Great tackle right there by the Hornets. Miles Johnson in on the action.
Miles Johnson, our impact player for the Hornets, shows why. He played free safety 2 weeks ago by assignment, but comes in now at his will linebacker spot. The 6'1", 180-pound junior impact player. He just blows that play up, Al, like you mentioned, and that's what impact players need to do, make a difference in the game. And now the Hornets will try to take advantage of great field position by an outstanding punter in Grant Thompson.
Standing in his own end zone, he averages 33.6 yards a punt. And Thompson lays his foot into this one, pushes Marion back to his own 43, and he is tackled immediately. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. What's going on, Kim?
When I was able to speak with Coach Scott at the beginning of the game, the things that we're seeing so far in tonight's competition are the things he was hoping his team was able to execute tonight. He said most of all they have to take care of the football, but they wanted to have explosive plays, create turnovers, and be able to contain the quarterback on the other side. So far, we feel like they have done that, and hopefully they will continue to do so in order to get this win tonight and potentially be the region champions.
Thank you, Kim. We're right about that. Both teams trying to secure a region championship if they can. But Corey, we know only one can do it. That's why I call it a loser leave town match. And we have another penalty here. Let's see what Rick Johnson has to say. So holding called against Baker, so they're going to tack on 10 more yards against the Hornets, pushing them back to the 32-yard line.
And what you're doing now is you're seeing bracket coverage on number 5, help over the top, but one-on-one coverage at the bottom of your screen, also number 1, and again, the big back Woods in the game.
White goes into motion. They set up the screen for him. No, Josh Jones receives it. He's got the room, gets it up to the 40-yard line. Nice pickup right there by the Hornets on that pitch and catch.
Dylan Gilbert and Cooper Bell coming up from the corner and free safety position, making that stop, but not before a 7.5-yard gain by the Hornets. And again, you're giving Tate Graham an opportunity to continue to be in a rhythm, and he is accurate tonight.
2nd and 2 for Baker. They give it to Wood. Up the middle, north and south he goes, busting up into plus territory to the Fairhope 43-yard line. Big run by Gavin Wood.
Opened up by that big offensive line again. Dominique Robinson, Jalen Rogers goes untouched. A nice counter there by the running back, and he just hits the hole, is explosive, and picks up another Baker Hornets first down.
Tim Carter burns his 2nd time out. He wants to talk about it. Brings his guys to the side. Don't forget, coming up, we'll have the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge as Kimberly Dunn will go into the stands. Select a spectator, ask them a question, give them a multiple choice answer, and if they answer correctly, they'll win a Chick-fil-A prize pack, and the cow will go moo. So stick around for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Plus, Corey, it's senior night here at Baker, and they typically have so many seniors, I don't know if they even finish. So I can't say if the band's going to perform or if we're going to have senior night part 2 at halftime, Corey.
It is a booming population out here in West Mobile.
It really is. It really is.
You look at the great crowd that has assembled here tonight for Baker and across the way for the Fairhope Pirates. These fans know what's at stake, but this community here in West Mobile has a chance to see history be made by the Baker Hornets. And, you know, the Hornet hooligans, they're going to have to keep the goalposts greasy tonight, Al.
1st and 10 from the 43-yard line of Fairhope. Al Weed and Corley Bounty on the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn bringing you the action here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Play action, Tate Graham looking over the top. Katori Marion, I don't think he got that foot down, incomplete.
It's a great throw, but just let him a little bit too far out of bounds. But you can see the great hands of Marion as he stretched out, made the catch, just was not able to get that 1 foot in bounds, and it's going to come up an incompletion. Look at rolling to the right, finding number 5, and he was out of bounds a little bit too high. But again, the protection by this offensive line has been tremendous, and Austin Barber has been dialing up a beauty for his senior Tate Graham so far. With the exception of the turnover on downs, Baker has looked superb on offense.
Baker working out of the pistol formation. Wood inches up to the right of Graham. They hand it to him. And Graham takes his time, lets the hole develop, and picks up a couple there. So it's going to be 3rd and manageable for the Hornets as they are in front of the sticks.
Just gets to that second level. Oakley Newsome and Dagan Jones on the stop, and we will have an official stoppage in play.
Injured player on the field, Darrell White for the Hornets. We'll take an injury timeout and be right back.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement, and that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting 1 out of every 10 Alabama students?
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
I believe my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County Public School System is excellent. For me and my child, I'm going to stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
We welcome you back to Clem Richardson Stadium on the campus of Baker High School, the largest high school in the Mobile County Public School System. Corey, I know that you knew that, so just wanted to put that out there.
Absolutely.
Here's my did you know for tonight.
Yeah,
but you knew that, Corey.
Yeah, hey, man, you have seen the growth of this tremendous program, and I will hope that Darrell White is able to bounce back sometime tonight for the Hornets as well.
3rd and 3 for Baker. They bring in Speedy Wheeler, and he keeps those legs churning, stays upright, picks up the first down just when you thought he was down. He continued to churn on and picked up a few more yards.
One thing about Jalen Speedy Wheeler is he gets stronger as the game goes along, and you'll see him in the second half. I guarantee his number will be called a lot because he will be fresh, and he's already fresh in regards to having a name like Speedy. So he won't get any tickets tonight here on this turf field.
1st and 10 for the Hornets on the 28-yard line. Back to the ground game they go once again. That one goes nowhere. Actually goes backwards. They're going to lose a yard back to the 29.
Rankin Williams, the will linebacker, 5'11", 182 pounds, senior, with a great tackle for loss. And the Baker Hornets now faced in a situation to where they're just happy with the clock continuing to tick down to 5 minutes of play here in the first half. But again, one-on-one coverage is what we're seeing. Pick your poison if you're the Pirates defense on how you want to go ahead and play these speedy wide receivers.
Pistol formation here for the Hornets. Play clock under 7. Marion goes into motion. They give it off to Wood once again. Gavin Wood with the carry. Breaks the 25 up to the 24-yard line.
And he's showing running downhill something we didn't see a lot of 1 week ago because of how many points and how explosive Marion and Wheeler were. But anytime you're able to pull in a back, a second back that is going to be fresh, no matter how you look at it, you just continue to feed them until Fairhope's able to stop it.
3rd and 6 for the Hornets. Crucial down right here for Baker. Play clock at 10 seconds. They go with the draw play and catch Fairhope off guard. And Gavin Wood hits the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night.
24-yard touchdown for Mr. Wood. Go ahead and chop him down, Wood, if you would to say. And he go ahead and slices and dices this Fairhope Pirates defense and gashes them for another 6 out. You can look at all the Fairhope defenders at his feet, barely even touching them, but he got to the 2nd level, running downhill. Woods, a great run.
Got to commend Austin Barber on that play call. Everyone expecting pass, 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 and they pull out the old school draw play and extend the lead 21-3. Baker bringing the heat tonight on the Pirates.
Looking for unforgettable food and flawless service for your next event? Woodyard Catering is Mobile's top choice for personal chefs and customized catering. From weddings and baby showers to funerals and private dinners, we bring delicious, handcrafted dishes made with the freshest ingredients. Reliable, friendly, full of flavor. Whatever the occasion, we serve it with care. Call Woodyard Catering today, because every event deserves a taste of excellence.
Take a look at that scoring drive. 24-yard touchdown run by Gavin Wood. 8 plays, 78 yards, 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Corey, you just talked about Wood came into the ball game with 2 touchdowns, and guess what he has done tonight?
Scored
2 touchdowns. He has doubled his touchdown output in this one ball game. I got to talk to China Powell. That was 24 yards, not 24 years. I think, China, you bring your abacus. Get your, what is it, Grammarly spell check? Chat GPT. It's all good, boo. It's all good.
I will say this, though. With him having 2 rushing touchdowns, he had 176 yards on the season.
Total.
He already has 90 here in the first half. So he's almost doubled up both of his totals on the season because Wheeler gets a majority of the carries. So it just gives opposing coaches something else to look at on film.
1st and 10 for the Pirates from their own 24-yard line. Empty set for Garner, looking for the slant route to Fisher South Hall. Thought we had a tip drill, but I think we're going to have some PI against Baker there.
Well, I'll tell you, Fairhope will take the free 15 any way they can get it to continue to move down the field and keep the drive alive. But that's a huge score for the Hornets as they have ballooned this lead up to 21-3 now.
Wait for the call here from Rick Johnson. And there's the PI. Called against Baker right there, so that pushes the ball up to the 39-yard line for Fairhope. Great field position here for the Pirates, just in front of us atop the press box here inside the Hornets' nest.
Fairhope cannot afford to turn this ball over or get greedy here. Just stay within the continuity of your offense.
Pressure on Garner. Ronald Reed almost had him. They force him outside the numbers. He's still looking to throw, heaves it down, and it is out of bounds. Garner trying to make something out of. Ronald Reed almost had him, and I believe he was too greased up for him to bring him down, Corey.
Well, that just goes to show why Trey Garner is playing that quarterback position. Look at his balance. The 6'5" quarterback just hits the circle button and spins away and is able to avoid a sack and keeps his eyes down the field. But the Baker Hornets secondary was ready for it, and here it is, a 2nd and 10.
We were talking to Tim Carter before the ball game. I said, Coach, how tall is Garner? 6'4", 6'5"? He said, well, he wants to be 6'6", but I think he's about 6'5". Kind of slim frame, very similar to Graham's frame for Baker. And look at Brian Martin and his small frame. He does all that running and picks up 1 yard for the Pirates. It's going to be 3rd and 9 coming up for Fairhope.
You see the closing ability of number 6 in blue, Keandre Petway, 5'9", 160-pound senior. He sees that it's run. He comes from his corner position and makes a huge stop. And there have been multiple third down and long for the Pirates here in the first half.
Fairhope needs to get the 49-yard line to pick up a first down. Split receivers. Morris lines up into the slot coming out the backfield. Empty set here for Garner. He's all by himself. Pressure on Garner. Garner is sacked by the Hornets.
And he is turned loose as the head coach, defensive coordinator, has plenty of sting in this defense. He has turned Jacorian Smith loose from his will linebacker position, makes a huge stop for the Hornets, flexes his muscle. And I talked about the Hornets needed to swarm and sting, and that's exactly what you see Hornets do. Al, I don't know, I'm allergic to stings, whether it's mosquito bites or hornets or wasps, but this Hornet defense tonight is clicking on all cylinders.
Definitely doing that. They only allow 19 points per game on defense, and right now holding Fairhope to 3. Marion just going to stay away from that one. Very smart move right there by the future, as you call him, Corey, for Baker. He stays away, and his future is looking bright, headed to South Alabama. He's an early graduate, as a matter of fact.
Let me tell you a little bit about Katori Marion. He was our Crichton Optimist Club offensive back of the week this week.
Okay.
And we wear pink for October. But Katori shared with us in the crowd that his mom suffered from breast cancer. So it is near and dear to his heart. And one of the reasons he wanted to stay is close to home, to be with his family.
Makes a
so
lot of sense.
Nothing but respect for Katori Marion and his folks who are fighting cancer and who are beating the odds to survive this horrible disease.
Makes a lot of sense right there. 1st and 10 for the Hornets from their own 34. Little quick flash out there to Josh Jones. Pass incomplete. Possibly could have been picked off by the Pirates with a tip drill, but they can't bring it in.
This is the first time tonight we've seen pressure on Tate Graham. You go back and you look at that play, you see a Fairhope defender in his face and actually able to make contact with him. That's the first time all night. Look at this pressure here coming by the Fairhope defense. And because of it, it was an incomplete pass because the offensive line has protected him and given him timing to be able to pick this defense apart.
Gavin Wood just to the right of Graham. They hand it off to Wood. Breaks it outside, fumble. It is picked up by Fairhope. Johnny on the spot. I don't believe he stepped out. Yes, he did step out at the 37-yard line. Johnny on the spot. Dylan Gilbert picks up the fumble off the turf.
The rip and strip can opener drill is in full effect. Gavin Wood, we saw him stretch out earlier and almost fumble trying to get in. Great job of knocking the football away. It stays in play. And the Fairhope defense and Dylan Gilbert are able to come away with a huge turnover. But the rip and strip by the Pirates is huge, creating a situation for them to have a little momentum going here with 1:44 before halftime.
And Coach Carter knows that he's going to get the ball in the second half, so Fairhope can try to go for the 2-for-1 here. They can score on the front side and possibly score on the back side, get themselves back into this ball game. 1:44 remaining. Garner flips it out, incomplete. That pass was behind Andrus Hunt. That could have spelled disaster for the Pirates.
And it was almost intercepted by Carmelo Taylor, number 1 in blue, the free safety. Not able to get both 10 fingers and both hands around that football as we almost had back-to-back turnovers there. But just settling in from an offensive standpoint, Trey Garner, he just needs to not force the football, knowing that Nick Ronsonvalley, his dynamic running back, is out. You got to find number 1 in white here. Find number 1 and go to your safety blanket and Hunt.
Brian Martin goes into the backfield. And Garner is going to be sacked for a significant loss by Baker back to the 46-yard line. That's a huge sack by that defense.
Miles Johnson, our impact player. Big-time players make big-time plays. he just continued to come hard. He wrapped up and was able to get the big quarterback down. And that was a huge sack for this Hornet team. And now we're going to have a timeout because you want as much time as possible offensively to try to strike as well.
Baker wants to stop the clock here. It is 3rd down and long coming up for Fairhope. Eric Scott says, hey, let's save some time. He hadn't burned a timeout yet in the ball game. That's his first time out. So very good call right there by Coach Scott. Don't forget, halftime Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge headed your way. We'll feature that with Kimberly Dunn as she goes up into the stands and try to get a winner. So stick around for that. Right now, Baker on top, 21-3, Corey. Quite an interesting ball game. Baker close to hitting their average already.
Yeah, and I will say this, within the last 2 weeks, what is the sign of a great and growing program? The depth and people being able to be the next man up.
That's
Miles
right.
Johnson was a free safety 2 weeks ago. Now he's flushed into the will linebacker position. Number 0 making plays 2 consecutive weeks that are helping his team win games.
And Baker, without their leading tackler for the 2nd week in a row, you're talking about stepping up. Jacorian Smith stepping up to play Mike linebacker because Hawthorne is out. So they're doing what they have to do. 3rd and 19, ball on the 46. It's money down here for Pirate fans. They've got to get it. Garner going out, throws it to Andrus Hunt, and tackled right there at the original line of scrimmage. So the Pirates are going to be about 10 yards short. 4th and 10 coming up. Maybe 4th and 8.
Keandre Petway, again, coming away with a very solid open field tackle. But you go to your safety blanket at number 1, and that's who you have to go to have big plays if you're Fairhope. The clock goes
and I'm surprised Eric Scott hasn't called a timeout right here, Corey. He was in bounds, so valuable seconds going off if Baker wanted to get it back.
Because it is 4th down, you're going to make Fairhope call that timeout and waste 1, and you'll save yours. You have a great kicker. You've seen him kick a 55-yarder, and that's going to be on Tim Carter to make that decision. Where does he trust his kicker kicking from?
Yeah, I think they might be a bit far out, but we're going to find out here. Decision time, ball sitting at the 35-yard line. So it'll be close. He's made 55. I believe this will be close to 52 or 53 if they go for it. But with 28 seconds remaining in the first half, Corey, and as I said, Fairhope does get the ball back on the other side of halftime.
I would go with my kicker in this situation.
I mean, he's proven now. He's proven. He's already hit one tonight.
Reason being, this defense has been blitzing from everywhere. And this is what Eric Scott lives for as a head coach and a defensive guy, to be able to dial up the correct down and distance blitz. And on 4th and long, Fairhope, if they decide to bring out their kicker, they just have to have great protection here behind this massive offensive line. And it looks like they are going to go ahead and kick this field goal because, again, the 55-yarder is the longest by their kicker, Grant Thompson.
And this will be 52 yards here for Thompson. His season long is 55. He's already hit from 43 tonight. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and Corey, it is no good. No good for Thompson.
I mean, the boom within that football sounded like the Fairhope Pirate cannon.
It did.
Going off, and it was long enough. It just was a little bit wide.
Just
so
straight,
we had the distance.
Yep, straight a little to the right there.
But it just strayed away.
But as we talked about earlier, Corey, in the first quarter, here's a look at the kick. When you have a secret weapon in your pocket like that, 3 points can make a difference in a high school football game.
And again, wide left. And plenty of distance,
just
folks,
over the
that
top
would
of the
have cleared
crossbar.
that.
Yep. So 1st and 10 for the Hornets from the 20-yard line. All they can do is pretty much take a knee. Fairhope can't stop the clock as we get ready to head toward halftime. And a very good first half performance shown by Baker tonight. 2 touchdowns by Gavin Wood and another score from Katori Marion. That leads to our score of 21-3.
Now, we talked about my checklist at the beginning of the game. Creating turnovers for Fairhope. Well, it's been Baker creating turnovers. And again, swarming and stinging for Baker. Eliminating mental mistakes. They haven't done that. So that's something Coach Scott is going to talk about. Eliminating those mental mistakes.
Correct.
And making that Hornet Hooligans history They are less than 24 minutes away from doing so.
Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She was Baker's head coach, Eric Scott.
Coach Scott, before the game, we talked about how important it was to take care of the football and limit those penalties. We've had quite a few in this first half. What adjustments are we going to make?
We're just going to try to calm down a little bit. Sorry.
He's trying to save me.
Yeah. Just got to calm down. We were a little too aggressive on special teams in a couple of deals there. So we'll talk with those guys at halftime and just make sure we clean up our technique there. But on the field-wise, a lot of that was stuff that we've been doing in the past, and this crew obviously saw something different there. So we'll clean all that up in the second half.
We also talked about controlling those emotions. You came off a very big game last week. Do you feel like your players have done a good job at kind of staying level throughout the game so far?
Yes, I do. I think they came out and executed well so far on both sides of the ball, even on special teams, even though we had penalties, which we don't want in special teams. But I think we've been pretty good so far. We just need to clean up the penalties in special teams, and I think we'll be ready to come back out and try to finish this thing off.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Scott. I'll let you get with your team. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. We do appreciate that, Corey. He's right. Those special team situations where they caught those penalties, but they overcame it, as you said, in the second quarter. Up 21-3 right now. We'll come back, bring you the bands. I do see the bands on the field, so I guess senior night is over for the most part. Fairhope's coming up next with their band. Don't move. It's halftime.
Do you have a student who would benefit from a more flexible learning schedule? The MCPSS Academy of Virtual Learning was created for you. It's reimagining education for independent, motivated, responsible learners in grades 6 through 12. Students can take regular, honors, AP, or dual enrollment courses all at their own pace. And virtual learning doesn't mean isolation. Our teachers know their students and frequently work with them one-on-one. Are you ready to learn your way? Visit our website, mcpssvirtuallearning.com.
Hey Alexa, tell me about Mobile County Public Schools.
With 53,000 students in 90 schools, Mobile County Public Schools equips and empowers college and career-ready graduates. Several MCPSS schools are ranked among Alabama's top 10. Yearly, graduating students earned about $110 million in college scholarships and 10,000 career credentials. MCPSS is learning today, leading tomorrow. Does that answer your question?
Principal John Cardwell, we proudly present the pride of the Eastern Shore, the Fairhope High School Buccaneer Band.
Envy silently festers, poisoning the heart and soul. things have unbearable weight. Lust and snares with fleeting forbidden fire.
Sounds of the Fairhope Marching Pirates. Will take a break and be right back and give you the Baker Marching Hornets. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
So I wasn't ready for my math test. Didn't know that it was going to come to this. I mean, it was just a phone call so I could get out of testing.
Threatening harm to a school, even as a prank, is a crime. Mobile County law enforcement treats school threats seriously, leading to investigations, arrests, and legal consequences. Think before you act. One moment of bad judgment can have lasting consequences. If you see something, say something. Speak up.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. LaFleur Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goals.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit MCPSS.com.
Hey, Mobile County parents, it's time to launch your little learner into success with the Mobile County Public Schools First Class Pre-K program. If your child turns 4 years old on or before September 1st, they qualify for this incredible opportunity. Online registration begins January 15th, so don't miss out. Visit MCPSS.com for more information and a complete listing of pre-K sites, screening and selection information. The MCPSS First Class Pre-K program, where big dreams start small.
Your experience is valuable, and now it pays. Have you taught at a private school, another district, or even retired from teaching? Mobile County Public Schools is now offering higher pay for your previous experience. That means you can step into the classroom at a higher pay level because your experience matters. Don't let your hard work go unrecognized. Apply today and start earning what you've worked for. Visit mcpss.com/job opportunities for more information.
Let's take it down to the sidelines with Kimberly Dunn. It's time for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge.
We are here for Week 10 edition of our Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. I have two awesome helpers with me that have been helping out the entire football game. They're the ball boys for Baker's team. Are y'all ready for our Chick-fil-A question tonight?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so first you got to tell us your names and where you go to school.
I'm Max Barber. I go to Brightling Elementary School. I'm Chandler Boatman, and I go to Mobile Christian.
All right, are y'all ready to answer our questions tonight? All right, I hope you know your planets because tonight's question is, This planet is the largest in the solar system. It's about 11 times wider than the Earth and has 79 known moons. It's the 5th planet from the sun and is a giant gas planet. A day on this planet lasts about 10 Earth hours, okay? So which planet is it, okay? Is it A, Saturn, B, Jupiter, C, Neptune, or D, Uranus? What do y'all think it is? So the 5th planet from the sun.
Neptune? I think Neptune. Jupiter. Wait, we gotta agree on one.
Y'all gotta agree on something. All right, what are y'all going with?
Jupiter.
All right, Jupiter is their answer, and that is correct. Great job, guys. All right, so they're the proud winners of our Chick-fil-A Trivia Challenge prize pack. So they've got some awesome Chick-fil-A gift cards as well as this prize bag and some Chick-fil-A goodies. We got a lot going on around us, but they did an amazing job. All right, y'all look at the camera, wave everybody, say go Baker.
Go Baker.
Thank you, Kimberly. Great job. Congratulations, fellas. All right, let's take it down to the field and check out the Pride of Baker Marching Band.
Drum majors, is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Pride of Baker High School Marching Band.
is the only visible object other than the sun that can be seen, although some reports have seen planets. I myself did not see planets from the surface, but I suspect they might be visible.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Pride of Becker High School Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Sidney Dieter, Mr. Greg Puckett, and Ms. Cheyenne Hicks.
The Pride of Baker Marching Band with their halftime performance. Right now, let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has Coach Tim Carter with her. What's up, Kim?
Coach Carter, before the game, we talked about how your team needed to limit the explosive plays of the Baker Hornets. Do you feel like they've done a good job on that so far?
No. The second play of the game, he took it to the house and got a 7-0 lead. So, but they're just a good football team with a lot of explosive players. I thought we played tentative early. I thought we played better in the second quarter. But we get the ball first to open the second half. So hopefully we can drive and get some points and get a little bit of momentum back. We've not had any momentum in the first half.
Absolutely, Coach. So what adjustments are you hoping to talk to your team about as they come into the second half of the game?
Well, we got to get some first downs and move the football. We had a couple there early. Trey scrambled for a good run right there at the first of the game, but we just didn't really had to settle for a field goal. And, we've got to win the line of scrimmage. They've been whipping us up front. They're very, very quick and explosive, and they've been running the football hard. And but I thought we settled down a little bit defensively and got the turnover right at the end. We didn't capitalize on any points. Just missed a field goal. That would have kind of cut it to a 2-touchdown deal, but we'll get the ball to start the half. So we're going to play hard to the end, and we'll just see what happens.
Absolutely, Coach. I'll let you get with your team. Best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kimberly. We do appreciate that. Coach Carter talking about his team, something he told us on the phone, Corey. They're a very talented, explosive team.
I mean, they can come out here and make a statement. This first opening drive is going to be critical and set the tone for the entire second half. If the Pirates offense is able to get on the board, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, preferably for the Pirates fans, a touchdown, it will get a lot of momentum going for the second half. The Hornets, they just don't want to look at the scoreboard. They want to start off 0-0 mentality and come back and play another great half of football.
All right, let's take a look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association top 10 polls. We're starting in 5A. There's a new #1 team, and for the first time ever, it is the Williamson Lions. Right behind them are the Vigo Wolves, with teams 3 through 10 remaining the same from last week. Well, Corey, you called it last week, saying the loser of the Vigo-Williamson game shouldn't fall lower than 2, and I think the writers heard you.
They did, and kudos to the writers for making that decision. They're clearly the best 2 teams in the state of Alabama in 5A football, both of them, again, being MCPSS-based schools.
All right, take it up to the 6A poll. There's some movement here. The top 4 teams stay the same from last week, with Parker and Russell County losing. Benjamin Russell moves up 1 spot, and Homewood leaps up 4 spots to 6 outside the top 10. Theodore picks up 8 votes and looking to win a region title tonight against Saraland. We got to find a score in that game, Corey.
Yes, Saraland up big on Theodore right now as they're taking care of business, being the #2 team in the state.
Gotcha.
And Saraland has been at the top of the polls for Jeff Kelly. A lot of controversy this week with Carver Montgomery canceling that game, but
Correct.
Saraland deservedly so at #2.
All right, up to the 7A poll with MGM losing to Baker and Thompson losing to Hoover last week. There's a major shakeup in 7A. Vestavia Hills jumps from 4 to 2. Auburn moves from 5 to 3. Now look at the last 4 spots. All playoff teams from 7A Region 1. MGM falls down to 7. Baker makes the top 10 for the first time this year at 8. Daphne's lost to Fairhope, drops them 3 spots to 9. And the Fairhope Pirates make their first poll appearance of the season at 10, Corey.
7, 8, 9, and 10. You can see why this 7A Region 1 game means so much for these standings and for the Hornet Hooligans for sure.
All right, we're getting ready for the second half kickoff. Fairhope is going to be receiving the ball, and Coach Carter just told Kimberly Dunn they're going to get the ball. They've got to make some things happen. This Baker Hornets team is explosive, and this defense has been all in their face tonight, Corey.
Baker Hornets defense giving up 19.1 points per game. This offense of Fairhope, Vaughn Bassina averaging 32.1 points per game with only 3 points tonight. It goes to speak volumes of this Hornet defense and also the ability for Fairhope to show why they can be explosive here in the second half.
Lawrence kicks it off. Taken by Fisher Southall at about the 8-yard line. Up the middle goes Southall, and he's going to be tackled near the 30. Got to thank Jersey Mike's for being on the team. They're hiring. If you want to work with them, they're one of the best companies in the country. Great pay and benefits, so stop by the Dolphin Street or Airport Boulevard location to apply. Tell them Alan Corey sent you. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Also, we want to thank BSN Sports. If you're looking for team apparel or equipment from basketball to volleyball and all sports in between, it's BSN Sports, the heart of the game, online at bsnsports.com. 1st and 10 for the Pirates. Ball at the 29-yard line.
9-1. Southall along with Hunt have to get involved here in the second half.
Play action. Pass incomplete, intended for Brian Martin. Brings up 2nd down for the Pirates.
And again, Al, going back to Coach Carter's point, putting points on the board, there's not many coaches or teams that would even attempt a 52-yard field goal.
That's correct. That is correct.
And we saw the distance be good for Grant Thompson, just a little wide right. But here, Trey Garner has to settle in and hit some of his wide receivers.
Garner, pressure on him, and he's pretty much going to be tackled. Got away, almost sacked, but gets up to about the 34-yard line.
Jermaine English from his bandit linebacker position, doing a good job staying home. The 6 foot, 182-pound senior gets his name called for the first time, and another 3rd and long for the Pirates.
5 yards to go if they can pick up the first down. That scramble by Garner got him 5 yards on the 33. Looking to the sideline for the call from offensive coordinator Von Messina. Trip receivers to the top of the screen. Play clock under 10 seconds. Garner taking his time. Pressure from Baker. He's sacked. That's a fumble. That ball came out. And I think one of the big offensive linemen got on top of it.
Straight to the center. Gibson Delafasi. And he was Johnny on the spot, being able to come away with that one. And you look at the pressure. Coach Scott with his ears pinned back, the pressure coming from all ends, and it falls right into the arms of, might have been Billy Erickson, number 50, the right guard. But nonetheless, another defensive stop coming out with the first offensive possession. A big return here for the Hornets.
Big sack right there by Caden Moore, defensive end for Baker. Marion once again stays away from it, and Fairhope is going to down it. We do have a flag. 2 injured Baker Hornets on the field. Flag right at the 20-yard line of Fairhope. Let's see what the call is here from Rick Johnson.
It's going to be running into the kicker, as that's where exactly the flag was thrown. It'll stay fourth down.
Stay fourth down, so it's not roughing the kicker, just running to the kicker, so a 5-yard penalty will be assessed. Something Coach Scott talked about to Kimberly, Corey, those special teams penalties tonight against Baker.
But you want to make sure that 2 of your guys are staying healthy there. That's Keandre Petway, your corner, 6 and 9, getting rolled up on each other. And that looked to be Elijah Anderson, the defensive back, as well. The other number 9, the defender number 9,
right.
Because the other one 1 week ago I misspoke on with the double numbers.
Oh, yeah, Baker's got double numbers, yeah. That's the other number 9, Corey. That's going to push Baker back to the 20-yard line, so 1st and 10 from the 20. First Baker possession here in the second half, as they are in lead 21-3 over Fairhope. We told you at the onset of the ball game, if Baker wins this game, they are going to be the region champ. Currently right now, MGM on top of Davidson at the half, 35-0. So they're handling their business. Of course, Fairhope will be trying to win this ball game and wanting Davidson to beat MGM, but that's a tall task tonight as they toss it out to Gavin Wood, the other number 9, Corey. He picks up a nice 6-yard run right there.
Good push by the offensive line, but you can look for Gavin Wood to secure the football, and that's something I know was a point of emphasis as we're looking at some other scores. Mary G. Montgomery leading Davidson 35-0 there in the 3rd quarter, but 2nd and a short 4 for the Hornets.
Tate Graham looking to pass and getting that foot in. Christian White picks up the first down. Baker continuing to rest Jalen Speedy Wheeler and pretty much letting Gavin Wood have the game tonight.
And what you're starting to see is Darrell White and Isaac Rogers and Easton McCurchie and the other offensive lineman, Isaac Clark, creating a lot of time for the quarterback. Great job of protecting your quarterback here.
Graham across the middle on that crossing route right up the slant. Nice grab by Christian White, back-to-back receptions for White.
And White comes away with another huge reception, his 22nd of the season, and you can see the speed of Baker as they continue to move the sticks with this 21-3 lead. And again, pick your poison. You've got 9 Woods going downhill. You can go to 5, 1, or 2 here offensively.
Katori Marion in motion. Play action, looking for Josh Jones. He's wide open. All he has to do is catch it, and he does. It's a touchdown for Baker.
54-yard strike, I do believe. As you can see, the Hornet hooligans going crazy. It's pitch and catch for Tate Graham, hitting his wide. Look at the protection, folks. The timing, the accuracy of this throw. He has a clean pocket, catches his wide receiver in stride, Joshua Jones, jamming for 6.
Second touchdown for Graham tonight through the air. They've scored through the air twice, scored on the ground twice.
explosive 4-play, 80-yard drive. And it's the opposite of what Coach Carter wanted. He wanted a score on the board to start. Well, Baker they
did
got
it.
the score.
28-3 is our score. We'll be right back.
Looking for unforgettable food and flawless service for your next event? Woodyard Catering is Mobile's top choice for personal chefs and customized catering. From weddings and baby showers to funerals and private dinners, we bring delicious, handcrafted dishes made with the freshest ingredients, reliable, friendly, full of flavor. Whatever the occasion, we serve it with care. Call Woodyard Catering today, because every event deserves a taste of excellence.
Baker all in control, 28-3, Corey. I will say this. Got to shout out our buddy, Mr. Quentin Woodyard, man. He set it out. We had beef stew before the ball game tonight.
The temperature's changing,
so
does his menu, but he's done a phenomenal job all season long. Call Woodyard's Catering for all your catering needs, as well as catering to the crowd are the Bacon Hornets and Tate Graham.
They've been kicking it to South Hall all night tonight, staying away from Martin and Andrus Hunt, and South Hall tagged right there at the 28-yard line. Here's that scoring drive, 46-yard touchdown reception to Josh Jones. Actually, I think it was 54, Corey. They were on the 46-yard line. That's what that was.
Yeah.
4 plays, 80 yards, 57 seconds on there.
And again, Tate Graham, efficient tonight, 13 of 15, 257 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
So his completion percentage has been unreal.
Graham having a great night.
I mean, he's just been accurate, and his wide receivers have come through for him, and his offensive line really has come through for him.
As we said in the first quarter, the Pirates lose their starting running back, Nick Rotsenvalley. So Zach Morris has got to step in. Rotsenvalley injured his hand on a carry and went out early in the first quarter, but Fairhope trying to get it together. Nice pass right there. Completed to Andrus Hunt, first down for the Pirates.
Now, what I expect to see is a lot of Hunt along with Morris coming out of this drive, and Fisher Southall as well. Fairhope has explosive offensive weapons. Coach Eric Scott has done a phenomenal job taking away those weapons tonight.
First and 10 on the 41-yard line of Fairhope. Going over the top, Garner trying to link up with Hunt once again. Incomplete, no flags on the play. Bring up 2nd and 10.
And you go to your playmaker there, and that's Hunt. And I like the fact that you're looking for him, and you also have to look for Southall. And Southall has 22 receptions of the season. But this defense here on 2nd and 10, the defensive line is going to come. 88 is going to bring a lot of pressure, and so is 0. And we've seen Jacorian Smith from his Mike linebacker blitz in the open gaps as well.
2nd and 10. They hand it off to Morris, and he's just leveled right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard. I'll still call it 3rd and 10, or as you like to say, Corey, it's 3rd and long here on Money Down.
Great job of coming up and making a stop. 14, Caden Moore along with Smith. And money down, it's time for the Pirates to cash in. And if they want to go ahead and try to pierce the Hornets with their swords, now's the time to do it, because you must get a first down right here. This one right here can be the backbreaker if the Hornets are able to keep them to 4 and punt.
Zach Morris goes out wide, compressed formation, and Tim Carter wants the timeout. Play clock was getting down to 0 with 8 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Don't forget, we'll have the game of the week, Brain Buster, coming up between the 3rd and the 4th quarter. Put up that question and see if Corley Bounty can get the correct answer. So stick around for that later on during the broadcast for the game of the week, Brain Buster. Also, Coach Tim Carter told me, Corey, he has 4 players verbally committed. Left tackle Parks Glaze to Troy. Left guard Wesley Sanderford to Southeast Louisiana. Wide receiver Brian Martin to Sanford. Defensive tackle Will Cooper to Jacksonville State. He says Cooper's going to play on the offensive line when he gets up there. But what he's really proud of His two offensive guys got selected recently to the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. Corey, I know that's a ball game you've called, so be on the lookout for Parks Glaze and Wesley Sandefur if you get called up for that game. They're going to the All-Star game, man.
Absolutely. Always do that one for the AHSAA radio network or television network. And think about this. Baker all-time versus Fairhope, 3-21-2.
That's right.
Looking for back-to-back wins over Fairhope for probably the first time in school history.
Brian Martin in the backfield just to the right of Garner. 3rd and 10. Let's see what they've drawn up here. Across the middle, he's going to be down. His knee was down when he caught it. Right at the 49-yard line. Hayden Woodford, our first time calling his name tonight with the reception. So it's 4th and short. I'm pretty sure Fairhope's going for this one right in the middle of the field.
His 5th reception of the season, and the 6'1", 180-pound junior made a critical catch. And now is where you want to get this push from your offensive line. You've got Zach Morris, the 6', 170-pound sophomore in the backfield. Got to get a big push from this O-line.
Garner throwing it quick out to Andrus Young. He fumbled it, but Hunt still held on to the pigskin. First down, the drive stays alive for Fairhope as they get up to the 42-yard line.
Great job of Pettaway coming up and making the stop. Solo hanging on for dear life at the feet of Hunt, and he's able to hold on and make the tackle. Big-time first down by the Pirates.
Play action. Garner steps up into the pocket, unloads, has a man trying to get with Andrus Hunt, and Hunt catches it for a 42-yard touchdown reception, and Fairhope gets the score.
We've got an injury for Baker in the secondary. Gerard Grissom, the 5'9", 160-pound senior, is down in the end zone, slow to get up, but splitting the defenders, and you go to your playmaker, your safety blanket in Hunt. He makes his 8th touchdown reception. Just a phenomenal throw, great catch. That's what we expected to see out of this explosive Fairhope offense that averages 32.1 points per game. Hunt gets loose, and he scores 6.
Thompson on for the extra point, puts it up, and it is good. So Fairhope still hanging around. Our score, 28-10. We'll be back with more action.
At Genuine Bling, discover stunning fashion jewelry that turns heads for just $5. That's right, $5. From bold statement pieces to everyday sparkle, we've got the bling. So why wait? Treat yourself, your friends, or your entire wardrobe. Fashion fun for just $5. And don't miss the Bling Live. Join Charmaine Watson on Facebook, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. for exclusive pieces, styles tips, and surprise deals. Genuine Bling, where fashion only costs $5.
6:46 remaining in the third quarter. That's the kind of action, that's the kind of play, Corey, we were talking about before this game that we were expecting to see out of Fairhope. But as I told you, possibly with that injury to Brunson Valley, that may have thrown things off. But you got to compliment Eric Scott for making the adjustment on defense to shut down, say, Fisher South Hall and Andrus Hunt as well. But Hunt got loose then, man.
Yeah, he did. Great catch there by Hunt, with 3 defenders right there able to make a play, and we'll see this explosive return team for the Hornets turn it up.
Josh Jones inside the 20 up to the 25, spins around at the 26. He's going to be down, so 1st and 10. Here's the reception. Here's the scoring drive. 42-yard TD reception to Andrus Hunt. 6 plays, 72 yards. 2 minutes and 37 seconds, but there was a key 4th and 2 play they had to convert right in front of us here atop the press box.
And sitting down on that route and being very active on that drive was Hunt. And again, now Fairhope hunting a defensive stop and really need to find a way to keep Baker off the board and make them punt the football away. Because if you're able to get a little momentum, this is the momentum that Coach wanted coming out of the locker room.
Graham with the slant to Jones, and he dropped it, Corey, something you talked about in the first half. He worked on that this week, but he dropped that one, buddy.
Yeah, that's his first really big-time drop, because the other, that's only the 3rd incompletion, I do believe, of the game for Tate Graham. He put it on the money. And again, you just have to look that football all the way in.
Still no Speedy Wheeler in for the Hornets. Working out this pistol formation, play action to Wood. A little high. The timing was off. You know why? Because Dagan Jones was right in the face of Tate Graham.
Dagan Jones with the dagger on Tate Graham. Go back and look at this one, folks. You can see the quarterback get rocked, and it was legal in regards to where he hit him. Look at number 3 in white, all in the chest of Tate Graham.
And he came unblocked too, Corey.
And that's just hard, and Tate Graham's able to shake that one off. You better believe he felt it, but this is a huge third down play, money down, and hitting the cha-ching is the defense here for the Pirates because it's a backbreaker if Baker's able to convert here on 3rd and 10.
Fairhope trying to get off the field here, and Eric Scott's going to call a timeout. I think that's very smart at 6:28 here in the third quarter. We'll take a break as well and come back and bring you more action. A critical third down coming up for the Baker Hornets.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
Critical third down here for the Hornets. Fairhope down 2 scores. Tate Graham has a man. Gavin Wood on the wheel route out of the backfield. No one accounted for him. He was wide open, and he caught it, and the drive continues for the Hornets.
Absolute backbreaker. As you see a clean pocket for Graham, untouched. And on that wheel route, as you called, Al, being able to secure the football is the biggest thing for Wood.
And I like how Graham worked through his progressions, took his time. You could see his eyes scanning the field, gets that one out to Christian White. They pick up a couple inside the 45 to the 44, second down for the Hornets on the way.
And what you're seeing here also is the Hornets just being patient here as far as Tate Graham. When he has a clean pocket and time to throw, it's been disastrous. They're making sure Katori Mary in the future doesn't see the end zone.
2nd and 6, they give it to Wood. Dagan Jones eats him up. Tackle for loss behind the line of scrimmage.
You can see why this linebacker is the leading tackler for the Pirates, and he makes his 49th solo tackle, his 19th tackle for loss of the season. The Mike linebacker has 5.5 sacks, and once again, it's money down again. We saw them convert on 3rd and 10. Now we'll see if they're able to convert on 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 here coming up for the Hornets. Baker has 2 timeouts remaining. Fairhope has 2 timeouts as well. Josh Jones in motion. They go to that side, and it is batted down, almost secured, picked up by one of the linebackers for Fairhope off the tip drill. That would have been huge if they could have hauled it in. Right, Will Coxon had his hands on the pigskin.
But it is, again, a deflection that does stop the clock.
Correction, Will Cooper there, Corey, Will Cooper.
And it does. The defensive tackle, 6'4", 265 pounds, comes away with his 3rd pass deflection of the season, and that 6'4" frame turned into 6'8" or 6'9", and almost was able to secure an interception.
Kason Lawrence on for his punt for the Hornets. Back to receive, Brian Martin standing at his 10-yard line, and we have a flag on the play. Delay of game. That'll push the Hornets back 5 yards. Lawrence averages 36 yards a punt, his longest of the season, is 53. So for both of these teams, Corey, their kickers are their main specialists. They handle punting and field goals and extra points as well. So both of these teams, outstanding kickers for both of them. Lawrence kicks it, kind of goes straight up and down. Baker lets it roll out. They'll down it at the 29-yard line. So decent field position here for the Pirates as they take the ball at 4:54 in the third quarter, down 18 points. See if they can try to put something together to stay in this ball game. They're not out of it by any means.
No, I mean, they are averaging, again, 32.1 points per game. And Coach Carter talked about never say die, the attitude that his team will have, and you just must protect the football. No turnovers here if you're the Pirates.
Man in motion for Fairhope. Morris in the backfield and a flag on the play. I think someone may have jumped early. False start called against Fairhope. That'll cost them 5 yards.
Well, I will say this. When Trey Garner has had a clean pocket and time to throw, he goes and finds number 1. He goes and finds number 4, number 9. But 1 and 9 offensively in white are who needs to go to.
1st and 15, takes it out the belly of Morris. On the slant, Fisher Southall with the grab. Nice reception right there by Southall up to the 36-yard line.
And that may be his first reception of the
Corey,
game.
I believe it could be.
And it gained 7 yards.
We've called his name more on kick returns than offense.
Now you find 1 or go right back to 9 in this situation because those are where you're looking at trying to hit.
They give it to Morris, and the Baker defensive line bows up. His forward progress will stop him at the 35.
DeVale Cunningham, 5'10", 240-pound junior defensive tackle on the stop for the Hornets. And it will bring up another 3rd down and 4 yards to go. And we saw last time, Hunt just ran right past the stick, sat down. No need to have a go route right here. Take what the defense gives you, which is something right past the yard to gain.
Looking back to Hunt once again. They did a little hitch and go. And he's out of bounds. Couldn't get his foot in, Corey. Caught the ball, but couldn't get his foot down on it.
And not a lot of arguing there from the Pirates sideline as they know his tippy toe was on the white sideline.
Watch the fake punt.
Great protection. The hitch, like you mentioned, and a great catch. But he is out of bounds.
Landed out of bounds. Great play call right there by the Pirates. I loved it.
And now, you're not in a situation where you have to fake it. MGM has been the master of fake punts in 7A Region 1.
But it's Shondell Harris out there,
Zach Golson has called his fair share of those or gambling, but you want to make sure you stay home and are aware, and it looks like Baker's defense is.
And there's the fake. It is on. The fake is on. They pick up the 1st down. Big play call right there. Bringing in Tyler Dees on the fake punt. Corey, you just talked about it, and they did it. They took the gamble.
You got to be aware that you know that is in the repertoire. You snap it to the up back, and you allow him to just bowl over defenders. And that was just a great play call. Baker was at home and ready, but Fairhope did a great job of getting a hat on a hat and pushing the line of scrimmage back and picking up a 1st down.
Ball at the 47-yard line. The drive stays alive. Big 4th down pickup right there by the Pirates. They keep it on the ground to Zach Morris. He breaks through the line of scrimmage, breaks through the midfield stripe up to the 46-yard line. Barrel and run by Zach Morris.
Yeah, he runs hard. And Zach Morris, he doesn't have to be saved by the bell in that situation. Theodore Roberts, the Sam linebacker, comes away with the tackle for the Hornets.
Back to Morris again. I believe he's right at the stick. They're probably going to give it to him, Corey.
And I will say, growing up, that was one of my favorite shows on
That's
Saturday
what it was.
Mornings.
Just
Saved
1 yard short for the Pirates. 3rd and 1. Bow up time for both of them. 3 runs back to back to back for Morris. He gets the 1st down as he falls at the 40-yard line, and we're close to 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Tempo time for Fairhope.
They
understand the sense of urgency here as they're quickly getting the play calls in, trying to catch Baker on their heels. And you mentioned them being able to do this without the leading rusher, Nick Rossenbally, and he went out early with a hand injury, so we'll see if the Pirates are able to score here.
Martin goes into motion. A fourth play fumble on the play. Morris tried to jump back on it. I think he may have grabbed it. And Fairhope retains it. Boy, that would have been a huge backbreaker right there for the Pirates.
Yeah, ball security has to be there if you're the Pirates. You have to understand that nothing is more important to your team right now than taking care of the ball, whether it's your quarterback calling the signals and Trey Gardner, or your running back, Zach Morris, or any other wide receiver that touches the football for that matter. Secure the football and protect it.
Morris steps out of the ball game, and we have a flag on the play. False start's going to cost Fairhope 5 yards.
And even though we've seen our fair share of penalties tonight, there's still been a great flow to this game. I mean,
it has,
we kicked off at 7 o'clock. Here it is. We're almost to the end of the third quarter, and it's almost a 2-hour game so far. So we're right on schedule as far as the normal length of a high school football game.
Fake the handoff, play action. 2 guys all on top of Garner, and escaping with his escapability. Andrus Hunt, the receiver, makes something out of nothing. He was about to get eaten up as well.
Folks, I'm telling you, one is an absolute playmaker. Hunt, the 5'11", 160-pound senior, he can get things done along with his teammate, number 9, Fisher Southall. The 2 seniors are definitely where the quarterback, Trey Gardner, feels comfortable going to, and it's another 3rd down.
3rd and 5 here for the Pirates, trying to keep this drive alive. Approaching 30 seconds left. Back to Morris. He comes into the ball game, plows ahead. It will all come down to the spot. And I think if they get the left foot spot, they should have it. If they go to the far official, they won't have it.
10th play of this drive coming up here,
and they're
for
short.
the Fairhope Pirates.
They're short by a yard, and I think Tim Carter's going to let the clock run down. The game clock is below the play clock. They haven't even started the play clock yet. And the Fairhope Pirates walking out the field, as they should do the smart thing to do, with 4th and less than a yard coming up. Another crucial play here for the Pirates. So that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter and take us to our game of the week, Brain Buster. We'll get it up here for you. All right, Corey, here we go. In 2014, Baker came within 1 game of its first ever 10-win regular season. What team defeated them in the regular season? And Corey, this is your final exam. Is it A, Alma Bryant, B, Blunt, C, Citronelle, D, Davidson, E, Alberta, and F, Fairhope? In 2014, Baker came within 1 game of its first ever 10-win regular season. What team defeated them in that regular season that year? And remember, they've only had 2 9-win seasons here at Baker Court. That was the question last week.
A, B, C, D, E, and F.
You got a bunch to pick from.
A lot of multiple choice options here. I thank you for that.
Your final exam, Corey.
I love it. I love it.
So
Final exam, got to get a good grade on now.
We'll give that answer later on inside of the 4th quarter. Check in with Kimberly Dunn. What's going on down on the field, Kimberly?
Coach Carter talked about it at the halftime. They needed those explosive plays. They had a couple in this last quarter, but they were not able to fully capitalize on them. In order for them to really make strides in the right direction, they not only need the explosive plays, but they have to be able to capitalize on them and score in this last quarter of the game.
Thank you, Kimberly. You're right about that. Big play right here. Ball on the 31-yard line of Baker. I'm going to call it 4th and a half yard to go. And let's see if Fairhope is going to bring in the big jumbo package to try to pick up this 1st down.
Well, I tell you, you have a big number 90, Colton Allen, that you can run behind 5'11", 200-pound senior.
That's true. That's true.
And you also can get the protection that you want. Quickly run to the line and maybe get a tush push possibly here. We'll see exactly how they decide to figure it out. But the left side of the line is the strength for the Pirates.
Ryan Martin in the backfield. They give it to Martin, and he tries to stretch out, but his knees are down before the 30. It's going to be ball over on downs to Baker. He is going to be short, Corey.
It's going to be really close. I think they're going to have to measure. Rick Johnson and his crew going to look and see what they have.
Of course, Fairhope pointing.
And it's turnover on
downs. And it's turnover on downs, yeah. I believe his knee went down. He stretched out, but his knee was down before the ball crossed the 30-yard line.
That's one
Take
of those
a look at the replay.
bang plays. Tim Carter not happy with that one at all. Run that back one more time, and we can re-rack it. And we can see when his knee actually hits versus him stretching out.
Right there.
Left
Caden
knee.
Moore with the tackle right there. So actually,
left knee
the
down
ball could be
before he
brought back
stretches
some,
it
yeah.
out. And he is clearly short. So that's a great job of our replay guys in the truck being able to show all fans that he truly was short of the first down.
Pistol formation here for the Hornets. Gavin Wood with the carry. Got to protect that pigskin. You see him put both hands on it as he's about to be hit. Gets up to the 33, 2-yard pickup for Wood.
And that's what you want to see, though. Ball security is what you have to have in that situation.
That was a tough drive to stop for Fairhope right there. On a fake punt, they kept the drive alive, but comes to an end. Baker right now 2nd and 8, ball on the 33. Back to Wood they go. Eric Scott decides they're going to run some clock here. Forward progress at the 30, so he's going to take a 3-yard loss.
And for those schools that are not recruiting, number 3 in white, Dagan Jones, the Mike linebacker, 5'10", 196-pound senior linebacker. Just put in this film and watch him, his season work on huddle. This young man is going to be an absolute gem and a playmaker. He reminds me of another smaller linebacker that used to play for McGill Tulane, Carlton Marshall.
Yeah.
And the small linebacker with a lot of heart can get it done.
Josh Jones in motion. Graham trying to catch the receiver on the outlet. Incomplete. Trying to hook up with Wood, who leaked out the backfield, and he took a lick. Didn't catch the ball, and 4th down, so the defense stands for the Pirates. And just that quick, Corey, 10-28. Baker looking to punt again on their 2nd series in a row.
Lance Wade, 6 foot, 185-pound senior with a huge hit on the play. And again, causing Baker to punt it away. And you don't want to have any penalties on this punt by either one of these teams because you don't want to give up any additional hidden field yardage in this contest.
Lawrence with the punt, kind of keeps it away. Goes right over to Brian Martin, and he's going to get it up to the 39-yard line. All right, let's put up our answer for the game of the week, Brain Buster. Here's the question once again. In 2014, Baker came within one game of its first ever 10-win regular season. What team defeated them in the regular season that year? Alma Bryant, Blunt, Citronelle, Davidson, Alberta, or Fairhope, Corey?
Big boy football for Bryant, Davidson, and Fairhope. We talked about a game of streaks. I'm going to go with F for Fairhope. F is my final exam answer.
All right, we'll give you the answer after this play here. 1st and 10 for the Pirates from their own 39. Up the middle goes Morris. And Corey, the answer to that question is F for Fairhope. They beat Baker that season 49-21. Corey, here's your +1, but you're going to get +2. In 2014, that was the first year of 7A football in the state of Alabama. Also, that was the first year I had my first ever broadcast at this exact stadium, October 10th, 2014, against Alma Bryant here at Clem Richardson Stadium. So great job on your final, Corey. You passed. And speaking of passing, that's just a duck. That's an errant duck, and it is intercepted by Baker. Someone got their hand in the face of Garner, and Tristan Robinson picks up his first pick of the season.
Trey Garner not being able to step into this throw. Look at him not being able to step into it because of the pocket pressure. And it is, like you said, just up for grabs. And the hardest thing for a defensive back to do is intercept the football. Tristan Robinson, the rover, comes away with his first interception of the season. Couldn't come at a better time for this Baker defense. Now we'll see here in the second half, Baker has sputtered offensively. We'll see if they're able to put the pedal to the metal and score another 6.
1st and 10 here for the Hornets. They hand it off to Katori Marion out of the backfield, and a flag on the play. Take it down. Take a look at our good friend Richard Beatty on camera right there. Richard always doing a great job for us during the season. And we have to admit, Corey, they got him tethered now. They won't let him go wireless anymore to prevent any sideline warnings. And there's our buddy Brandon right there. Inside of the Hornets nest, Corey, they got him atop with the, well, not atop with us, but he's up in the stands with the Baker Hornets fans holding called against Baker, 10-yard penalty against the Hornets.
And I know that Kimberly Dunn may be able to hear us there on the sidelines. Find out what's going on with number 0, Speedy Wheeler. If you see him on the sidelines, we haven't seen him really in the second or third quarter. And we'll see if he's hurt or what's the situation is with him.
Yeah, Stewart Allgood sitting in the spot I normally see Derek sitting in. I saw Derek in the truck, but Stewart right there on the 50-yard line, manning the camera tonight. Trip receivers to the top, 1st and 15 coming up for the Hornets. They're at the 40-yard line. And there's Run. Run has gotten the job of a wireless camera this season and also does a great job when we have coin toss and coin flips as he goes out on the field to get that audio core to go with it, because we always want to hear what the players call, heads or tails, or as Rick Johnson had tonight, Alabama-Auburn with the coin.
He did. And I will say again, Katori Marion had been quiet in the second half.
That's true.
His first time having his name called outside of that carry that he just had, but his first reception of the second half as well.
2nd and 3 here for the Hornets. Ball just past the midfield stripe. Isaac Rogers saying movement, but Fairhope did not jump across the line. Play clock under 10 seconds, and I believe Baker may have to burn a timeout. 4, 3, 2, 1. There's the timeout. All the assistants on the sideline with Eric Scott saying timeout, timeout, timeout. There's our good friend Gary Bubba Arnold. He's just down from us, I believe, to the left over there, Corey, of me, inside of the stands here on the home side at Clem Richardson Stadium.
Bubba is a veteran, does a wonderful job.
All right, Kimberly Dunn, she has an injury update for us. What you got, Kim?
I was able to get that injury update for number 0 on the Baker Hornets team. He does have a shoulder injury, so he is out for the rest of this game, but they are hopeful that he will be back to practice this week and prepare in preparation for next Friday.
Thank you, Kimberly. We did see him go down on his shoulder last week in the MGM game, Corey, in the second half, so maybe it got a little irritated tonight in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, better safe than sorry, because you look at Baker next week facing the Viger Wolves, and we know what that game meant to both of the programs 1 year ago.
On a Thursday night, too.
On a Thursday night, beat Viger 10-9 last year. Juan Johnson really getting momentum going into the playoffs and seeing them win their first playoff game in over 40 years.
40 years, sure. Yeah, sure did. So good momentum. 2nd and 3 here coming up for the Hornets. Pass incomplete, trying to get hooked up with Christian White. He was wrapped up by 2 Pirates defenders.
It was also tipped. The official was making the signal that it was tipped.
Tip. Okay.
So that can affect the throw. But again, Tate Graham has been protected by this offensive line. You'll see it tipped right here.
Yep, there it is.
And it changes
And who
rotation.
tipped it, Corey? Dagan Jones.
Playmaker, Dagan Jones. He's an impact player, folks. And again, number 3 in white can just flat out play football.
3rd and 3, trips a while here for the Hornets. They give it to Gavin Wood up the middle. He goes bouncing, and I see Dagan Jones and a few other, Will Coxon in there on the tackle as well. Tackle for loss about a yard. They're at the 50 now.
Yeah, big time stop, about 44. Cooper, 6'4", 265 pounds, senior, making that stop, and the clock continues to run. But think about this, 1989, the same year the South Alabama Jaguars defeated Alabama in the 1989 NCAA first-round basketball tournament was the last time the Baker Hornets were region champions.
Region champs has been that long, Corey. Lawrence with the punt. Just got word from our producer, Quentin Howard. MGM on top of Davidson, 49-0. And Bryant Martin's going to be tackled at the 21. They try to push him back, but it's forward progress at the 21. So pretty much MGM handling their business. And from the way it goes right now, if this game ended right now, Baker would be the region champ. MGM would be your number 2 seed. Fairhope would be your number 3 seed. And Daphne would fall to 4.
And let's talk about, Jack French turning an 0-10 program around and becoming and having a winning season. He's a Hall of Famer. Juan Johnson coming in last year from out of town and doing a great job getting the Hornets back to the playoffs. And now a veteran of this squad who was promoted from defensive coordinator to head coach, Coach Scott, looking to make history here for the Hornets. And Al, they are only 7-31 away.
That's right.
From winning their first ever region championship since 1989.
That's huge. And first one in 7A, as a matter of fact. Their first 7A region championship. Woodford with the catch. 8-yard grab right there. 2nd and 2. Garner's going to keep it. Our second time seeing him run tonight. He scrambles, kind of tippy-toes over the 35-yard line up to the 37.
And I will say this. The last 3 possessions, Baker has had to punt. The clock has continued to run.
Run.
You have that big 28-10 lead, and you're able to do so. And want to thank China and Matt for the phenomenal job that they've been able to do, enhance our broadcast here, as broadcasters can't thank them enough for being an extension of us.
1st and 10 for Fairhope. Pressure on Garner, and Garner is sacked again. Miles Johnson coming up from his Will Backer spot to get the sack.
You had a tag team on that play. You also see pressure coming from number 14. You see from the backside and from the front side, again, Miles Johnson making that adjustment, Al, from his free safety position. And this is the 3rd time tonight I've said impact players must make impact plays, and he continues to do so, building off of the momentum of the pick 6 and another big-time stop for this Baker Hornet squad.
Holding called against Baker. So after the sack, we have holding on the play. So that's going to be a 1st down. The result of that for Fairhope pushes the ball up to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Pirates as we approach 6 minutes left in the ball game, reaching the halfway point of the 4th quarter. Play action. Garner with time, stepping up into the pocket, trying to take off. Very important to hold on to that pigskin. No gain on the play.
Defensive linemen love to eat. 315 pounds coming at you, closing down. It's just like his appetite is big, and he just wanted to take a big old bite of the QB and the nose guard. At 315 pounds, you can see how limber he was and chasing the quarterback down the line and making a big play on Trey Garner.
2nd and 10 for the Pirates. Garner throws it out to Andrus Hunt. Big tackle right there. Big tackle by Baker to keep his progress from going forward.
Petaway, we haven't seen him miss a lot of tackles tonight. And the corner has done a wonderful job with a lot of solo tackles. That's his 14th solo tackle of the season. And it's a huge 3rd down and 4 yards to go. The biggest play of the game here for both teams.
Trip receivers to the top for the Pirates. Loose snap. Garner's got a fall on it. He's going to eat it at the 39-yard line. Absolutely frustrated as he spikes the ball on the ground. Rick Johnson kept the flag in his waistband, though.
Jermaine English and Miles Johnson both with credit for that sack. And because of it, now it brings up a 4th and long with 4:45 remaining. Fairhope with 2 timeouts remaining. You really want to make sure if you don't get the play you want, you go ahead and call this timeout. 15 seconds remaining on the play clock. You got to find number 1 right here. I'm going to 1.
Hunt or Southall, number 9, one of the two. And we haven't called Southall's name too much on offense tonight. 2 seconds on the play clock when they snap it. Pressure on Garner, releases it. across the top. They were going for Andrus Hunt, like you said, Corey, and it is ball over on downs at the 40-yard line, and the Hornets starting to taste it and celebrate a possible region championship. Their third one in history, but it's been since 1989, Corey, as you said. That's a long time, brother.
I can't emphasize it enough. You know, you look at an 0-10 Baker team. They're 43-1 when allowing less than 10 points since 2000, and they're right at 10. They won in the first round last year for only the second time in school
history. That's right. That's right. That's why that playoff win was so big last year for the Hornets.
They beat Fairhope 34-14 last year, and I know 4 years ago when we came to this game, you and I talked about it, Al.
Yeah.
You corrected me and let me know, look, this will be the third consecutive win.
This will be the fourth win in a row if they can do it. They're on a three-game winning streak, so this will be the fourth win in a row. But think about that. They will be 4-21 against Fairhope all time, Corey.
And that's amazing when you think about this. And last year, Tim Carter, he made it to the first round of the playoffs and lost to Hoover 35-10. And Fairhope, they're 13-25 all time in the playoffs. So it's looking like they may have to travel here. Yeah. But again, Tim Carter in his 11th season done a phenomenal job.
1st and 10 from the 28. Christian White trying to make the over-the-shoulder catch for Graham. Incomplete. Takes Baker to second down.
That would have been on every highlight reel that you could possibly imagine if he would have caught that one over the shoulder. And he could have put that to lead all his huddle film. But it stops the clock here with 3:45. Baker with one timeout, Fairhope with two, but the clock does stop.
Ball on the 28-yard line for the Hornets. Looking to add just a little bit more on top of this lead that they have. Katori Marion gets loose. Gets loose inside of the red zone up to the 7-yard line. The future once again showing his potential, Corey.
The future's shining, and the future's bright for Marion from motion. Great pop pass to him. You see him cut back, and he's able to go ahead and get them in the red zone area. Prime scoring here. Baker trying to score, I think, their first points of the second half.
No, in the fourth quarter. We did have a score from Josh Jones, 54-yard touchdown reception. That was the only score Baker had in the third quarter. Gavin Wood trying to pick his hole, gets up to the 5, maybe the 4. Nice carry right there. 2nd and goal coming up for the Hornets.
And let's talk about where the Hornets stand with Kaysen Lawrence. And so far, he is 0 of 2 on field goals for the season. And he may get an opportunity if they're not able to get 6 to make his first field goal of the year. But
that's true.
The Hornets here trying to ground and pound as much time off the clock as they can.
Giving it to Wood. And he's at the line of scrimmage, barreling, keeping the pile going, keeping those legs churning. I believe he's up to the 2, maybe the 1.
Yeah, they'll spot him at the 2.
I think it's at the 2. Yeah, they're kind of in between the 1 and the 2, so I think it's going to be more so closer to the 2. So it's still 3rd and goal here coming up for Baker.
Use as much time off the play clock, and that's what a veteran quarterback does. Tate Graham took over for Josh Flowers last year and has done a phenomenal job. Dual sport athlete is Tate Graham. Plays a little baseball as well for the Hornets.
Pitcher for the Hornets baseball team.
He's done a great job of executing the offensive game plan.
It's Katori Marion time. Going to take it out wide, and Marion scores. That's his 2nd touchdown tonight. 1 on the ground, 1 through the air for Katori Marion, and that's pretty much going to seal the deal for the Hornets tonight.
And his first rushing touchdown of the season for Katori Marion. We've seen him get into the zone and the box earlier tonight. Now he does it as a running back. And again, the Hornets offense averaging 34.9 points per game.
And the hooligans go wild, Corey.
And rightfully so, as we are witnessing history here in West Mobile.
Lawrence with the kick is up and good. Baker all in control, 35-10. We'll take a quick break and be back.
Your experience is valuable, and now it pays. Have you taught at a private school, another district, or even retired from teaching? Mobile County Public Schools is now offering higher pay for your previous experience. That means you can step into the classroom at a higher pay level because your experience matters. Don't let your hard work go unrecognized. Apply today and start earning what you've worked for. Visit mcpss.com/job opportunities for more information.
A shot of the Hornet hooligans. They are going wild with the talcum powder, the baby powder, whatever powder, Corey. They're not doing fireworks in the stand, I guarantee you that, but they're having a great time as they're celebrating. They can taste it, 151 away from capturing the region crown, up 25 points. And, Corey, I'm shocked. I thought this Fairhope offense, they throw to set up the run, but I think them losing Ronson Valley in the first quarter really had an effect on this offense tonight.
It really did. And, I mean, you want to talk about a Baker Hornet program, Al. In 2008, they were 0-10. 2009, they were 1-9. In 2010, they were 1-9. And they haven't had really a losing season since 2022, and that was at 4-7.
Right.
Then they went 8-3, 9-3. Now they're going to move on to 7-2. But in 2018, 19, and 20, they were 5-5, 5-5, and 5-5. So this program really has done a tremendous job. And I know the AHS, FHS, Mr. Palmer puts these statistics together for everyone to enjoy.
Does a great job.
And you look at games by the decade for the Baker Hornets, it's been tremendous.
Lawrence kicking off here for the Hornets. Keeps it low. They actually kicked this one away from South Hall this time. Taken by Brian Martin up the middle. He goes to about the 40-yard. No, that's Andrews Hunt. Up to the 42-43 as he's bouncing off like a pinball, Corey.
And you talk about bouncing like a pinball. I mentioned by decades. Between 1980 and 1989, the Hornets were 42-62. From 1990 to 99, they were 17-84.
That's way below 500.
From 2000 to 09, they were 14-86. And here's where the transition started. From 2010 to 2019, they were 53-50. Above 500.
3 games over 500.
2020 through currently, they are now going to be 40-24. And I want to thank my good friend, Mr. Palmer, from the AHS FHS website, to where if you're a high school football fan in the state of Alabama,
you need to be on
go to AHS FHS. He gives us up-to-date stats on all classifications, 1A through 7A.
And Corey, he's doing Mississippi, he's doing Georgia, he's doing volleyball and basketball now too as well.
Huge shout out to him, and I want to thank him for all his tremendous hard work that makes so many broadcasters' job easier across the state of Alabama with his accuracy and his up-to-date information. So thank you very much for the tremendous job you do.
Definitely agree with that. 1st and 10 coming up here for Fairhope. 97 seconds remaining in the ball game. We were showing you shots of our camera crew and the folks making things happen behind the scenes for us. This is our last broadcast of the season for the MCPSS TV network. As they get the ball handed off, big number 24 for Fairhope, Miller Blakely. He's tackled and knocked out of bounds.
Al, you look at, again, I mentioned some numbers by David Parker and his group, AHS, FHS. He hits the numbers just like Baker Hornets are hitting the Fairhope Pirates tonight.
After this play, we'll get up our Career Tech Education Player of the ball game. 1st and 10 for Fairhope. Back to Blakely they go, up the middle. And he's going to tumble past the midfield stripe up to about the 47-yard line.
Well, there's definitely no quit.
And here's our Career Tech Education Player of the ball game, Tate Graham. Great night for Graham, 18 of 26, 332 yards and 2 touchdowns for the junior quarterback who's coming back next season, Corey. He's just a junior, so great job for Graham tonight and what he did. And big ups to Gavin Wood, who stepped up, 16 rushes, 91 yards. He had 2 scores. He doubled his touchdown output just tonight, Corey.
Well, I will say this, you know, the job's not done for Coach Scott as they continue to move on to 6-1. They'll finish region play at 6-1 and will be region champions. And I don't know if the Gatorade cooler is coming to get dumped on Coach Scott, but this Hornet staff, the seed was planted by Coach Juan Johnson 1 year ago, and it is carried over and been traditionally a school that doesn't win a lot of games.
Right.
Coach Scott, Eric Scott, in his first year as head coach, has won a 7A region championship.
Huge win for the Hornets. Trying to keep my eyes on the players, see if they got the water bath ready. I don't see anyone with the tub. They're all looking at the clock. As history is made tonight, Baker is your 7A Region 1 champs. Definitely helped by that win last week in the Battle of West Mobile. They knew they controlled their own fate, Corey. They had to win last week, and they had to win this week to capture the title, and that's what Eric Scott and his coaching staff went out and did, a commanding 35-10 win over Fairhope.
Well, they needed to head the Hornet hooligan history. They did that tonight, Al Wheaton, and congratulations to the Baker Hornets on making history for the first time since 1989.
Unbelievable.
And again, keeping it here in the Mobile County Public School System as 7A Region 1 champions.
2 region champs within 2 weeks. Last week, Williamson got the crown in 5A, and tonight Baker captures the crown in 7A. So that's huge for the Mobile County Public School System. We tried to get the trifecta. I don't think Theodore is going to pull it off tonight, buddy.
No, they're trailing, but again, Eric Scott and what he's been able to do. It's one thing to inherit talent, but it's another thing to sustain it.
Correct.
And one of the things that he's gotten these guys to do is to buy into what he was selling as the head coach. And he didn't have to make a lot of changes. And because of it, Baker Hornets are truly the 7A Region 1 champions.
I know Kimberly Dunn is down on the field trying to effort to catch up with Coach Eric Scott. It's absolutely huge, Corey. As I told you during your Game of the Week Brain Buster, I took you back to 2014. That was my first broadcast here with the MCPSSTV network. I'm going to be bidding adieu. This is my last broadcast with the network. But tonight, right now, we got to celebrate with Baker. Kimberly Dunn is with head coach Eric Scott.
Coach Scott, region champions since 1989, I think is what Alan Corey said. What does that mean that y'all have come out with this region champion?
It means everything. That was our #1 goal coming in this season, will be region champs for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
We talk about championship football. That's the first step, is being a region champion. And then we can start talking about other championships after that. You got to win your backyard.
Before the game, you talked about you wanted this team to be known for resilience and toughness. Do you feel like they displayed that tonight?
Certainly. I think they came out and it showed in the second half that they weren't going to quit. We gave up a touchdown there, but offense kept doing their thing, kept executing. Everybody did a great job. Special teams, just a great community win here for our community, for our administration, for our staff, for the whole, everybody from the cafeteria to the doggone principal. Everybody is going to take part and enjoy this win.
Well, we're going to let you go and enjoy this one too, Coach. Congratulations. Thank you.
No doubt about it. Big shout out to Principal Peru and Athletic Director Daniel Curtis. They had some fireworks just in case, Corey, as they got the win tonight for the region championship. All right, that's going to do it. Baker gets the win 35-10. We appreciate you tuning in. As I said, my last broadcast for the network. I've totally enjoyed it. Corey, I know we're going to see each other around, but worry about that.
It's been an absolute joy and pleasure working with none better than my partner, Al Wheaton.
All right, as we go, we're going to let the names fly through the air. Roll those credits. Wait for it.